your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I doubt it will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
Welcome to Whatever Wednesday. It's your favorite Whatever podcast recap show. I am your host, Chrissie Mayer. To my left is our other host, Mr. Fealty.
Hello.
Two-time winner of the Untoward Award.
And possibly third. I mean, she didn't announce a winner, but we'll see. Crossing fingers.
Loosest colon in the West, in the East.
Or
Is that
tight.
your nickname?
I mean, the length of time of which I can hold in the floodgates of the poop is amazing.
If you're wondering what this is about, go watch Keanu Cast from last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
And
times.
I came with the receipts, too.
So let's see. Are we reviewing today? So Whatever podcast happens on Tuesdays and Sundays, correct?
Yeah.
So today we are reviewing. Are we reviewing Sunday or Tuesday?
We are going with the Tuesday amuse-bouche of items.
Ooh.
There was a crazy panel of girls. Sunday was okay. Chase was on both. You know, I love a good Chase episode. But Tuesday, let's just say commies, socialists, and feminists.
Oh, wow. The
Yeah.
big three.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, it was very untoward and pretty back and forth. It's going to be, I'm not going to lie, this one's going to be kind of hard on me with the timestamps here because the first 2 hours are pretty much all great. It's
Okay.
like just continuous. So I have a lot of timestamps written down.
So you're over prepared.
Yeah, because the way I was thinking was like, all right, look, if it's feeling like it's covered the topic, I'm gonna have the next timestamp ready of where we could skip to, you know, for time-wise sake. But yeah, they pretty much talked about feminism and the such for like an hour and a half.
Ooh.
And yeah, and they have the glorious problem where they get annoyed with super chats because they feel they cut things off. But on that note,
Wow.
beer, 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 beer.
What a great problem to have. Thank you, Kratos. This is last year's Kratos. I don't know where the Kratos of 2023 is. Thanks for the super chat, though. You may not know, but Brian's OG producer wasn't Nick. The original guy walked out on a live show. Not sure if you saw that episode. It was hilarious.
I did not.
I would love to see that episode. We'll have to look for it.
Yeah, Kratos, if you know that episode, feel free to message me on Twitter, Ghostly Fealty, or super chat it. Like just, you know, and we'll find that and we will watch it after we do the Tuesday episode today. Because that, I mean, the way
Nobody-
Nick,
Yeah, nobody likes a scorned former producer, former assistant. I mean, just look at Will Smith. His former, I guess, best friend outed him for having anal with that guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
yeah.
And it might not even been fun gay anal. It might have just been like obligatory
another way to
Hollywood
explain it.
anal.
Mm-mm.
Obligatory Hollywood anal. Like humilianal.
Humilianal, golly. That's like the anal where people watch and they're like, is that poop I see? You know,
Yeah. Ugh.
that's disgusting.
If you're doing it in your trailer, you got to stop thinking about poop. Especially if we're going to get that girlfriend before you're 50.
I know, it's a problem. I'm trying. Ladies, I'm working on myself. I'm taking it seriously now. I'm going to be losing the weight. I'm focusing. I'm just throwing it out there, you know.
You have your rectum under control now.
Yep, there hasn't been a poop problem since 2019.
You
So
should
just
really have
saying,
a chart behind you or like a sign like how many days without a poop issue.
Yeah. Nowadays, the poops are just nice and fun. Play a little video game on my phone, and it all goes by nicely. Then
Good.
I look at it and I admire it after, and
Ew.
I'm
Okay,
proud of
that's
my
enough.
achievement.
That's enough of that. Done. No more
All right,
poop
here
talk.
we go. We're gonna bring it to the stage. We've got the show. We've got Chase here, and on the right side, ooh, what you
Whoa.
eating? Is
Who
that
apples?
potato chip? Ah, switched it up.
Apple?
Golly. I was expecting an orange, but I guess things
I
change.
did just to spite you because I knew you would say something if I had another orange.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying like you're enjoying oranges, and that's good. It's good for you.
This looks like the blonde version of Wednesday Addams here on the right.
Yeah, she's a little odd. She doesn't talk too much though. But I appreciate the boobage.
She
But
looks
yeah, the
like
girls
somebody
to her
left her.
left.
She looks like somebody left her at a restaurant on Valentine's Day. That's what this outfit is saying to me.
Really? She went straight to the piercing place and was
Mhm.
like, I need holes in my cheeks. So if I take a drink of water and really just try and pressurize it out my cheeks, I could squirt at people.
Like a fountain. And then we have a girl in the back along the back there who looks like a middle school desk with the classic neck and chest tattoo combo.
I don't like face tattoos, but like upwards to the neck, I could live with. And she's
Okay.
definitely like hotness wise, she's my number one. Just saying.
Really? You don't like
Oh,
budget
yeah.
Christina Aguilera in the middle there?
No, no, I'm not into that. There's too much
Okay.
going on there. It's like the hair is just. I don't like the white hair. I feel like the full head of white hair. Like the girl to her right, that's like Rogue from X
You
Men.
don't
That's like cool.
you don't like a platinum blonde.
Yeah, the full head. I'm kind of like, why do you want to look that much older? Like, are you a
Hmm.
wizard or
Well,
something?
Zia's got very platinum blonde hair. Some people can pull it off, and some people it does make them
Yeah.
look older.
Yeah, but also Zia's Zia. Like you get to know Zia, and Zia's like she understands dudes in a
She
scary way.
does.
Like her mind works like a dude mind. Like you talk with her, and it's like you forget she's almost a girl sometimes, but then you open up
Yeah.
your eyes, and you're like, whoa, and
Because
it's
she's
like, how'd that
around
happen?
comics.
Hmm.
She's comic adjacent. She's in the
Yeah.
biz.
Yeah, she holds her own, working with Jim Norton for so long and stuff, and she was doing
Yep.
great with that. She's unbelievable. I'm telling you, Zia's like a one in a million kind of girl. Just saying.
We love Zia here.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, so let's get on into this and go through this craziness. There's a guy in the back left. I think his name is Andrew. In my notes, I don't name the people by their names in my notes. They either get named by something they look like, and I just kept on calling him Guy. So for the rest of the episode, if I just call him that guy, Bear,
He's
it's
giving me
hard.
he's giving me off-duty vampire vibes out the gate, even before hearing him speak.
He gives me like on-duty police officer vibes in that outfit.
Fed.
Yeah, it's like, what were you doing on the Thursday at the 15th and stuff? Golly. All right, so here we go. We're going to start it off. We're going to be a little bit before the intros because Brian's going to Brian. So let's see
I love that.
Brian. Let me make sure it's on 1.25 because we like it a little fast.
p.m. Pacific. I am your host, Brian Atlas. I'm joined by my co-host, Kiki. Back there, there she is. She's a bit shy. A few quick announcements before the show begins. This podcast is viewer-supported, heavy YouTube demonetization, so please consider donating through Streamlabs instead of super chatting. As YouTube, Nick, you got to hide that thing at the bottom. Instead of super chatting, as YouTube takes a brutal 30% cut.
The head shake, though. I left that in there just because I needed that.
God damn it, Nick.
All right, so we're skipping ahead now. All right, so now we're going to cover
We have boosted the read and
text-to-speech.
TPS triggers. Donations and super chats $10 and up will be displayed in stream overlay. Donations and super.
Oh wait, bear.
Zach, if I forget Z is a girl, please get my eyes checked.
Yeah, I mean, like it's when you're talking. I'm just saying it's easy. Like you get into the conversation because you're connecting so much on a dude level, and then you realize again she's Zia and she's like one of the hotter girls out there, and it's like, oh, Zia's a roller coaster of existential experience of such. What was that?
Your penis will let you know that she's a girl.
Yeah, it does things unbeknownst to you, and you're just
Mhm.
like, whoa. All right, here we
Chats
go.
$100 and up will be read/answered. If you want to interact nearly instantly with us and weigh in on the conversation, consider sending a TTS, text-to-speech message. $200 and up triggers TTS.
Okay, I left that in there to point out that now every single
Whoa.
super chat interrupt is $200.
Whoa! For $200, you can interrupt the show at a time that is never good.
I'm just saying, for $5, you can interrupt us at a time that is never good as well. You know, just saying.
Hold
But
on,
yeah,
JFB. Are you saying that this guy Andrew here is Andrew Wilson? Because if it is, I have had Rachel Wilson on. I've had her on for a 101. She's lovely. I think she's
Oh,
great.
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm sorry, Rachel. I don't remember names, and it's just a lot easier for me when I'm doing the timestamps to just go with like a generic name. And he was Guy for the timestamps. But I
He
will
looks
now
like a
remember
guy.
it. I will never forget his name again. Andrew Wilson.
I don't know. Okay, confirmed. Chat is confirming. Okay, good
Yes,
to
his
know.
name is- Thank you, JFB. Looking
Small
out.
world.
Oh, I'm not gonna say that name. All right, here we go.
TS is via Streamlabs only. See the description for all of the triggers and full details. We have channel memberships. To become a member, hit the join button. Tier 1 is just $5 a month. You can also gift membership.
Okay,
I'm
we're skipping.
On Instagram, not on Clean Labia.
Right.
We have 3 clips channels, links in the
Here we
description.
go.
Go subscribe. Without further ado, we're going to have the guests introduce themselves. So please tell us your name, age, and occupation. Go ahead.
I'm Bunny. My age is 22.
Did she say
and
bunny?
I'm
Yeah.
a content creator. I don't know. I do a lot of different platforms.
She's
What
on
kind of content
drugs.
creation
I
do you
love
do?
it already.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you just said that. And also, beer, 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 beer.
Push-ups. Funny way of saying Z is effing awesome. Oh, we say it early. We say it often.
Yeah.
This is a Zia simp channel.
I simp for Zia. You clip it and send it to her. Happily simp for the Zia. All right, here we go.
I do normal modeling. I do lingerie modeling. I do OnlyFans. I do
Oh, yeah.
camming.
She's on antidepressants.
I do other sites like that.
It's
Okay.
crazy that
How
you
long have you been
realize
doing that
that
for?
in one
Since I was
sentence.
18.
Got it. What about you?
Am I right?
I'm Caitlin. I'm 19. I'm a
I don't like spoilering, but I'll spoil
All right,
this
all
one
right,
because
right.
it's not that big.
I'll just-
they ask
I'll
her multiple
judge it.
times.
I'll judge everyone out the gate, and then we'll see if it pays off.
Well, yeah, on this one, she doesn't really say much in the episode, so yeah, I'm happy to spoil that one. They ask her multiple times later in the stream if she's on drugs, because she is just zonked and out of it. Like,
Whoa.
and she's like, no, I'm not on drugs. And it's like, yeah, she tries to say she has narcolepsy.
Even
That's
if you're
her, like,
there,
excuse.
they also not everyone is cut out to do a 4 or 5 hour podcast with no coffee and no snacks. So
Yeah.
if you arrive to this podcast a little tired, like you will be basically asleep by the end.
Yeah, and also they get to sit there and watch Brian eat his freaking popcorn, you know, in his multi-$1,000 chair. It's like they've survived the struggle session, as it were. But then again, some of these girls tonight, as we'll see, they deserve the struggle session. Here we go.
dancer and I do a little bit of OnlyFans and then
Just a
that's
little.
pretty much it. I'm working on going back to school. And I'm from
Going back to
Jacksonville.
school?
Yeah.
Okay.
reminds
What do
me
you
of
plan on
Carmax
studying?
a
Or
little
what
bit.
were you studying?
Philosophy and poli-sci. So I just got my associates in May.
Okay.
So
Her
I'm
voice
taking, a
sounds
little
like
bit of a gap
Carmaxa.
year, and then I plan on going back next fall.
Got it. Okay. What about you?
I'm Azure, aka Brat Gorian. I'm a content creator on TikTok,
Azure.
OnlyFans, and
Yeah, I just call her Farty.
Twitch as well.
That's what I had
Age.
in my notes.
I'm 23.
Azure
Alright,
is her name.
welcome.
Azure sounds like fissure,
Oh,
as in anal.
an Azure fissure?
Azure, not Asher.
I think
Which is like-
Azure,
it's
like blue.
Pronounce Azure. I don't want to sound like I'm one of the reindeer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like blue, like Azure or I don't know.
Azure. Oh, right.
I just call her Farty. We'll find out why.
I'm a social media content creator.
She's beautiful. I think she's the most beautiful.
And I also do.
I in my notes I called her Anna. I felt she kind of looks like Anna, that Star Wars girl, doesn't she? Like a little bit. There's a little
Yeah,
Anna
great
there.
boobs, hot face, long hair.
I mean, I had more details than that for that, you know, comparison. I'm not just about the boobs. Just
Okay, well, I
saying.
am.
Next girl, though, is hot.
I also do OnlyFans.
All right. Welcome.
I'm Selena. I'm 25. I'm an exotic dancer. and I make
Selenas.
TikTok.
I'm Selena. I'm 25, and
OnlyFans
I'll
or no
cut a
OnlyFans?
bitch.
All right. Okay, but you're
And I
You're a
will
stripper.
key your car.
okay. Got it.
Maybe that's why I like her. I like the crazies, I guess. But I don't know. I could live like I don't normally like the neck tattoos, but I think out of all the girls we've seen on the show, like she's really hot.
What about you?
Wow.
I'm Savannah. I'm 26, and I am a barista.
Whoa, Savannah.
Barista.
Go easy
No-
on
no
the
OnlyFans, correct?
highlighter.
No,
Holy.
no OnlyFans.
Okay, barista.
Fucking-
What kind of barista though?
Wait, what?
Specific.
What's
Look-
highlighter?
Oh my God. This is a contour queen we have, and which is fine for photos and Instagram, but for a live stream, it becomes so damn obvious. First of all, you can see how she contours. She's got either contour or bronzer starting here, and then it comes in under her cheeks like really harshly, and she's got a lot of highlighter here, and like down her nose, and almost like a line, like as if drawn with a crayon. It's just like she's got these hallmark. It's too much, and for a live stream, and with this lighting, it's this girl probably looks very cute in photos, maybe does Instagram, but she probably has never podcasted, or she's like, this is a ton of makeup, so I don't know. She might be the most insecure on the panel.
Let me see how I look on my phone. Yeah, I'm a little gray today. I could have put on some makeup, I guess. Yeah.
This is a lot of
Yeah.
makeup. I can tell she's very high maintenance. She probably takes 2 hours to get ready.
Golly, the delay is crazy. Oh, no, I'm good. I can't tell on my monitor. Okay, I'm sorry. Like girls, I don't have mirrors and such. But okay, so
Stop it. You're a man. You look fine.
I know. Okay, I'm just joking. But I don't know. Maybe like there's like a special skill to on camera makeup and lighting.
It's too
I
much.
wonder how their lighting is though. I can't really see, and I'm looking in the reflection of the
It's
windows.
very stark.
And yeah, it seems like it might just be the room lighting though.
Yeah, it looks kind of fluorescent in there.
Yeah,
And then
doesn't it?
everything's white. There's nothing soft, no cozy colored lights in the back, nothing warm.
Yeah. Like I got 2 dome lights with socks on and a ring light. And yeah.
Yeah, this just looks like an interview. This looks like an HR office.
Doctor's
Well,
office, yeah.
We've said
psych
this before.
ward.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All
Everyone
right,
should be in a
continue.
straight jacket.
Here we go.
Typically a bikini barista.
What? So you serve coffee in a bikini?
Yeah,
essentially.
like think of Hooters, but like coffee.
Is it a chain
Yeah, it is.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the name of the chain?
The one that I work for, I'd rather not
That's
say, to
totally
be
fine.
honest.
Totally fine. What about you?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a stay-at-home full-time
She's not
working
asking
mom.
anybody their
I'm
ages,
a
by the
licensed
way.
real estate.
Notice how he let that one go without finding out her age.
Yeah. Maybe he's softening. I didn't even notice that the first time I
Wow.
watched. Huh. Brian's growing. I'm happy for him.
Agent, certified personal trainer. I'm also studying to be a nutrition coach and in real estate in the state of Tennessee.
Okay. Age?
I don't think she's
I'm
wearing.
30
I don't
years
think she's
old.
wearing.
Oh.
I don't
Got
think,
it. How many
I don't think she's
kids
wearing
do
a
you
bra.
have?
I
don't
mean,
think she's
she's
wearing a
she's married. I don't notice such things.
Oh yeah. Okay. Of course.
Yeah, it is a full dress, so you see her at one point when she stands up. I don't know. It's a married woman with like multiple kids. I don't know.
Untoward.
No, I think so.
Okay.
Right now, I have 4 kids.
4 kids.
I have 3 and 1 foster.
Wow.
Oh, 1 foster. Okay. Are you planning on having more kids or?
If God blesses me with more, I'll
Sure.
take them.
Gotcha. And you said you're stay-at-home mom.
Yes, I am. I am blessed to be able to work from home so that
Got it.
I can be with my
Okay.
kids.
Got it.
My name is Andrew Wilson, host of the one and only Crucible. I'm a right-wing political pundit and a blood
Ooh,
sports
great
debater.
voice.
I appreciate you guys having me on this evening. My age is
Yeah,
39. I have 5
very
kids,
low,
wife at
deep.
home, stupid dog named Shep, right? The whole 9 yards. So.
Shrek? Shrek? Oh, I thought you said Shrek.
Oh,
Okay.
he's
Got it.
delightful.
What
Yeah,
about
my
you?
name's Chase, 28 years old. I work as a professional photographer and a branding and marketing consultant.
All right, cool. So we're going to go around the table once more. What is everybody's
Chase.
current relationship status? So, are you
Alright,
single,
here we
talking
go.
stage, situationship, friends with
Why
benefits,
wouldn't-
relationship, married, polycule, sex, cult?
Why wouldn't he combine these 2 questions? Like say your age, what you do for a living, and your longest relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe because it's too much. Like,
To move it along.
yeah, like if you ask people with 3 questions, I guess like I noticed with the relationship status, like ever since I've been doing timestamps, like it is its own segment. So like he will pause on people to ask them more questions. So I think he likes to create the early show initial like expansion of each person. So if they do have like a complex relationship status thing, it's different than are they single in their age and stuff, you know. So you can like expand on it and get a clip out of it. I could be wrong though.
True.
It is Brian. He likes to draw out questions and have multiple layers to a very simple question. So let's learn about their relationships craziness.
We'll tear them. There's a lot of options nowadays. If you're single, how long have you been single? And what's the longest relationship that you've ever been in? Go ahead.
I'm single. Longest relationship was a year and a half.
Gotcha. How long have you been single for?
But I was blacked out for most of it.
Maybe like a month or two, depending on what you count that as. I don't know.
Okay, a month or two, depending on what we count as. Got it. What about you?
I'm pretty single. I think, you know. It's
Pretty
very-
single.
What does that mean?
So there's single, and then there's pretty single. So what is pretty
last
single?
time I checked, I was
She's
kind
got
of in a
options.
friends with benefits type of situation. But
When was the last-
time I had a conversation about it? It's probably been like a week or two.
She hooks up, and no
since
one's
we
tried to
talked
lock
about
it
but
down.
then
Okay.
we'll like go on and off talking for a couple days. But I'm like, as of right now, as of today,
She's got a
I'm
wait
very
list.
single.
From pretty single to very single.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I just had
very
to,
single.
Is it like the more you think about it, the more single you feel?
very much so. But my longest relationship was almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. Okay, and I detect a bit of an accent. Where are you from?
North Carolina,
Got it. Okay.
a little southern or whatever.
Okay. And so you said the last time you talked to this guy who you're kind of, sort of, not really seeing was a week or two ago?
Oh no, like talk to him about the situation that we're in. It's probably been like a day since we had a small conversation, like we texted.
You talked to him, or you talked to him about the situation?
Talked to him yesterday.
None of this matters,
Okay.
Brian. You'll never
Yesterday,
bring
I'm
it up
pretty
again.
Did you guys break up?
We were never like dating, like he's my boyfriend. It's been like a month and a half since we started, like since we went on our first date, and then like we talked, and then
That girl's having
we
heartburn
are
next
kind
to
of
her.
Like, well, he's
To
like, I don't know
her
if I want you in
right?
my life forever. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Oh,
I
the
like spending
brunette?
time with you. You like
Yeah.
spending time with me.
Look at her.
Oh.
We're gonna go.
Wait, what did he say? What did he
She's
say to
about
you?
to
He
do
said,
like self CPR.
Something along the lines of like, I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Ooh, how
That's
did
a
that feel to
no.
hear?
That's a no.
It hurt a lot. I can't even lie. But then
Well,
again,
that
at
means
that point,
delete
it had
from
been like
phone.
4 weeks of us talking. So it's like, one, how's he supposed to know? But two, it's not going to hurt me that bad. We got close really fast because like whenever I'm in any sort of situationship, I'm like
This is a cope.
moving really fast. So I think
He's
that put a lot of
coping.
pressure on it. And then we would have conversations about it, and like we were traveling together, and then eventually
what does trifling together
say
mean?
traveling?
traveling.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We were
It's
trifling.
North Carolina.
We were
Accent
looking
sign
for
off.
trifles.
And then he kind of went ghost for a little bit after I sent him this very long message about like me being confused, and
Can you pull up you have your phone there? Why don't you just pull up and read
What?
the long
I hope
message?
he doesn't watch this.
Why? What a
Something
weird
tells me
thing
he
to
probably
needle
won't.
her on.
Yeah.
This is very
I
odd.
hope
Like
he doesn't watch this.
I
trying,
honestly, just
watching
hearing the
Brian
details, I
like
don't think you.
feign concern is hard for me.
It's like, is it that interesting of a topic to have to bring up exactly what's said, though? Oh, what happened?
Sorry.
I got so scared for a second. I was like, did I click something? But yeah, I don't know why Brian sticks on that one. It really is, like, what's there for it? Like, you know, I think sometimes he just likes to ask questions to feel like he's doing something, you know? And also, pew, 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 pew.
Kratos from last year says it's at around the 2-minute mark. His name was Chris. He storms off. Dating talk number 12 from a year ago. Title is She Shamed Him for His Preferences. Ooh. Fealty, if you can make a
Wow.
note of that.
I am making a note of that right now. And,
You know what I would love to be able to do one day with just like a massive clip, or no, like just a show entirely composed of people storming off the show or getting kicked off or thrown off, things going poorly.
She shamed him for his preferences. Thank you. I got it written down. We'll be pulling it up at the end of the Whatever Wednesday. That's going to be epic. Thanks so much for that.
Thanks,
Much
Kratos.
appreciated. All right, let's learn more about this message. But yeah, that would be a cool edited thing, all the walk-offs. There's not that many, though. I think there's only been like maybe 9. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe more.
You're right.
You never know.
I did post about it, but okay, we'll see.
What do you mean you posted about it?
I just posted on my private story on Snapchat, like my main private. I don't know if you understand that concept.
Well, what did you post?
Just like a selfie with a link
To
to the podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
Well, what was the long message?
I'm curious. I want to
So
hear
it's
it.
been
Yeah.
like
She's promoting the show.
a second.
We believe in you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. If you want to move on while I pull it up, I don't know.
One eternity.
She's very endearing.
How close? How much have you guys texted since you like broke up?
So it wasn't even a breakup. He just ghosted me for like 3 days, and then he was like, "Hey, sorry, I blatantly what was it? Ignored your message."
Here, I'll move on, and you can
Okay,
find
yeah,
the message. Go ahead.
Oh no.
What was the question again?
Okay.
What's your relationship
Seriously?
status?
Oh, okay. I'm single and practicing celibacy for the last 7 months.
Good job.
Not for any religious relation, but just for
Wow.
myself. And yeah, I've just been single and not really trying to talk to anybody. So,
Okay, so celibate for the past
What's the longest relationship you've had?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
With Jesus Christ.
What about you?
Yeah.
I am completely single, and my longest relationship was 2 years.
So she
Completely
is an
single.
Anna.
What does completely single mean?
Just like
There's not a guy in the picture. Come
not
on.
at all. I'm not even
Not even like
looking at,
texting a guy.
Nah.
Come on.
No.
When's the last time you went on a date?
He's flirting. He's flirting with her.
Really? You think that was? Let's look back at it.
He likes her.
Picture.
Not at all. I'm not even.
Not
He
even,
likes
like,
her,
texting. What does
and he
completely
likes the
single mean?
blonde.
Just like
There's
he
not
likes the
there's not a
blonde
guy in the picture.
straight across
not
from
at all.
him.
I'm not even.
Not even like
looking at,
texting a guy.
Nah.
Come on.
No.
When's the last time you went on a date?
He did give the nod. Like, look at that nod.
Texting a guy.
No.
He has a boner for this girl.
No.
When's the last time you went on a date?
Yeah, did you see that? He has the nod going on there. Golly,
No.
boy.
Texting a guy.
No.
There's one more time.
No.
When's the last time you went on a date?
I mean, does like a date in a relationship?
But she's
count?
not
When was the last time you
4'11"
were taken on a
Asian
date?
with a big labia.
Wait.
Months. I don't know.
Months.
It's been like a long time.
What? How long have you been single for?
I've been single like about 4 months, but it was
About
kind of
4
like
months.
long distance a little bit. So like
Long distance,
even
okay.
before that, yeah.
You lived in Dubai?
Dubai.
Did you live in Dubai?
No, he actually lived in Canada.
Oh.
Where did
Are you
that come
Canada?
from?
No, I'm
Oh,
from
okay.
California.
I,
originally.
I don't
gotcha.
remember saying anything about
So when's the
that.
last time you went on a date? Exclude like a first date.
Oh, I think high school.
High school.
Yeah, no, I usually
Okay.
like whenever I've like
Speak
gotten
into your mic,
into
please.
whenever I've gotten into like a relationship, like
See, that's how you do that, though. You see how Chase says speak into your mic? Brian, you can learn from this. Let's
yeah, no,
just-
I usually
Okay.
like whenever I've like
Speak
gotten
into your mic,
into
please.
whenever I've gotten into like
See?
a relationship,
Look.
like I don't
Nice
know,
and
I kinda,
fast.
like started
With no
like, as
anger.
friends and started talking. Like
Yeah.
I've never gone on like a first date.
Sure,
Started
okay.
like in a relationship from there.
Are you in college, or were you in college at all, or?
Yeah, I was actually originally before I got into social media, I was in college for forensic nursing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a pretty typical experience for people in college. You're not going on formal dates. It's more of like a more casual hangout, either one-on-one or in a kind of a group of friends or going out to a party or something like that. So it's not surprising to me that it sounds like you haven't gone on like a more traditional first date, or not frequently anyways.
Yeah.
Got it. Have you been able to find here, we'll come back to you on that.
The
How
whole
long is it? Is it like,
Uh-oh. Beer, 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 beer.
Kratos from last year says 2-hour mark, not 2 minutes. Sorry. He likes
Copy.
all the women that come on the show, Chrissy. You know that, lol. Brian will have a mental break at some point. He didn't like me.
Well, he didn't have you on the show yet.
It's cute that you say yet, like it might happen.
I think it's gonna happen. I could see it happening. Where's the head shake? This
I
time
will-
next year, you
I
will
will
be on
be
the whatever podcast.
Struck by lightning before Brian has me on.
It's gonna happen. He's probably watching this show. I bet you
hope
know
he
what?
is.
I
Hi,
bet
Brian.
Brian. I bet you're there. We respect your chair and your life. Have Chrissy on the show. Let's continue these girls here.
Here, like,
On also, by the way, this very wonderful show that's skillfully done. Skillfully done.
Is
Well
that your
done.
message?
yeah.
okay, we'll do a paragraph or two, and if it gets a little,
Okay.
You should read it. You should read his message
I'll try
to
to
you.
like scan over the stuff that would take too much.
You
explaining.
should read,
do-
is
do
that,
the
is
whole
that,
thing.
is
Do the
that
whole
your
thing.
message or his message to you?
My message to him.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Just a
Okay,
big
so he
seat
said, I didn't mean to
blue.
make any of it a confrontation. I'm sorry if it's making you feel that way. I said, it's not even about a confrontation. I mean, I guess it is on my end. I just feel like you've been flaky and different, and it hurts my feelings. I'd rather you just rip the Band-Aid off, be blunt. etc. So I can go ahead and work on getting over it instead of sitting and pondering on whether or not you're actually interested in me. Like, I almost want to
Ooh.
apologize for being as intense as I've been, but you started it, and literally the only thing that made you reevaluate was me involving, oh my God,
Too much.
my family in our hypothetical marriage situation. It's so hard to like explain the marriage stuff because like where I'm from, people get married like all the time because it's a Marine town. So like contract marriages are
Wait,
like
is he a Marine?
Yeah, he's a Marine.
Yeah, guys
Why
love
would you
that.
want to marry you then?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's a Marine thing.
That's the money. They get money, I think, when they get
Yeah.
married, I believe. or-
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they get a bigger house, they get money.
Yep. So I don't know what's
That
going
actually
on.
They got a lot
there's
to gain.
benefits.
Yeah, there's more benefits when a Marine gets married. That's why they get married
Is there more?
so fast.
Is there
Okay,
more?
all right.
And that is the explanation of how girls talk. Like, oh, he can get a bigger house. Yeah, get married. It's not about love. He's gonna get a bigger house, make more money, and also beer.
These women are being practical, that's all. Kratos from last year says that's why he won't have her from all the shit talking. Haha. You need to find discount Brittany from the last show. Have her on. Oh, yeah. You know what would be good? She'd be great on like Keanu's show.
Mm-hmm. That should be the entry level to the Chrissy Mayer podcast.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I have a place for her. Someone like her.
Well, I don't think she's really an entertainer, was she? I think
No.
she was, yeah. So it's not like she's really
Just
in
an
the world.
autist. Yeah.
Yeah. Where she plays Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
I tried looking for mine. I couldn't find it. Very unfortunate.
They sell them at Barnes & Noble right at the counter.
Yeah, but I'd rather use my retro one from the OG days of Tamagotchi that I never could beat. It would always die in 3 days. And I want to see if maybe, with my older brain, I could keep it alive. And then in the middle of this show, just be found looking down at a Tamagotchi. Here we go.
All right, ladies, let's continue.
From my perspective, so that whole like my take on the marriage thing was from my perspective. Is
Just
what
keep-
I made
keep
note of.
going, keep
Okay,
going.
I just wanted to make sure.
Mind you, this is a relationship
you
of like
told
a
me the
month.
other day you feel the same as you did before, but you've given me no update on your position on things and certainly no signs of affectionate feelings. I thoroughly enjoy your presence. Thank you. And I want to spend time with you whether or not you're sick. And while I can understand you not being in the mood to hang out because you're sick, that's different
not
than
into
how I
you.
would act, so it kind of adds salt to the
Yeah.
wound.
He's just
I
not that
don't
into you.
understand, and
Oh my
although I think
God.
you've been more communicative than most of the guys would be.
Oh,
Every
hold on.
touch of
How did this happen?
サードアピアランスオブチェイス TTS クラッシズ&バーンズポッシブリーノットザベストビジネスディシジョンオールグッドゾーファンホワイルイットラステッド
Yo, Grid One, it's we boosted it.
I just played that one because it was funny. I let that play there. Oh, we're
Everyone
gonna skip
loves
ahead.
a Japanese interruption. This girl is she needs to go buy the book. He's just not that into you and read it cover to cover because this is that's more text than you should be sending in a month of dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning you have to play it super duper cool and let the guy come to you. Like give positive reinforcement, let him know you're interested, but you cannot be sending long blue paragraphs like that. That is too much. That is going to scare a dude off.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, girls. I have a timetable that I have to get something done before by. If you want to send me a book, send the book. If you want to message me every day, hit me up. Say hi. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm willing. That's not gonna stop me. As long as you're not actually crazy, I'm down. So
You're
I
fine
will...
with clingy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is clingy other than someone who really digs you, right?
Okay.
I mean, they'll kill for you, including you. I mean,
It
there's
could
nothing
mean that
wrong with
they're it could mean that they're too controlling. It could be a sign that they're trying to like control and steer the relationship instead of like letting it unfold organically and like let the two of you grow into it together.
Is that necessarily a bad thing, though?
It is.
Like, what if they just know the greatest way for my life to go, and I no longer ever have to think again, and everything's gonna get handled for
You're
me?
just saying that because you're like a dry sponge right now, and you're just like fucking bring whatever it is. Yes.
I'll take, the stuff on the floor. It's okay. No. I hope for something a little bit slower and better. Yeah, something a little romantic, but like, I don't know, a little bit clingy. Like, 10% cling, that wouldn't be too bad. I would accept that early on.
But this is more than 10%. This is
Yeah, no, that
this
was
is
a lot.
80%.
And it did like that's pretty much all they talked about. That's why I skipped ahead because like that's really all it was with her is she's in a month-long relationship and they already started talking about marriage. The guy's in the military. She was all happy about getting a bigger house and life and
Bam, 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 bam. Kratos from last year says, Chrissy is speaking from experience. Listen, no, I'm just old and wise, and I'm great. When I was dating, I would be great. I would. The last thing I would be clingy. I was, in fact, maybe more so too much the opposite. But this is her problem. She's probably only dating this guy, which you shouldn't do at the beginning. You should be dating lots of guys, and then so that you yourself don't get too attached too quickly, so that you can be cool throughout the courtship process. And then when a guy shows more interest in you, it's like you need to let the guy take the lead because you'll scare them off if you do the shit she's doing.
I like a little, yeah, I guess I like taking the lead a little bit, yeah. I don't know. It's been so long. How could I know? Golly, all the girls I know are either married or uninterested right now, so what can I say? Gosh. But they're all amazing, just say.
You
All
never
wonderful
know.
people.
Who knows what will
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, true. True that. All right, so I skipped ahead a little bit here because there really wasn't much else for. I was just calling her Southern Girl. I keep forgetting. I think it was like Savannah. But so at this moment is the start of our next character arc for the night with the girl I call Kami Girl. It's the brown-haired girl, and yeah, we're gonna see if Brian really is into her like you were thinking. Oh, did I go too far? I'm not there yet. Dang it. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Lower it later on in the show. We just want to get through at least the early parts of the show a little smoothly. That way we can establish things. Wait, what were you at?
Nothing specific about what they said. I was just whenever I like to engage with.
Whenever there's a what?
A comment.
Which comment?
The one. It's
yeah, I
nothing
should
to
have
do with-
played a little bit sooner.
Get through at
once
least
I
the
got-
okay. The TTS. We might lower it later on in the show. We just want to get through at least the early parts of the show a little smoothly. That way we can establish things. Wait, what were you at?
Oh, still not
just
forward
with the TTS.
enough.
I think.
Okay, yeah. Watch your face.
Amen. Hey, no worries, bro.
Yeah. Oh, and also just with the TTS, I think later on in the show that we're.
Did you
wait,
hear
what
it?
was that?
I just made up.
For what? TS, I think later on in the show that we're. Wait, what was that?
I just made up.
For what?
For the guy, I was just joking with the chat because I saw.
Okay.
Brian heard that
The-
instantly. Instantly. Beer, 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 beer.
Meow, Kratos, just don't be desperate. Women can sense that it's a turnoff. You have to be comfortable being alone. That's important. Yes, it is.
Well, see, that's the problem. I'm very comfortable being alone.
He's too comfortable.
Yeah, I've gotten to the level of too comfortable to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even going to be desperate for the women. I'm not even going to try. I won't even notice if they even like me. People would be like, yo, she was into you. And I'd be like, it was a good conversation we had. That was cool. It was fun hanging out. Yeah, you know, which has happened. There's been people after the wet spot that have said, like, yeah, that girl that you randomly met at the bar that spent the whole night talking to you that you didn't even, like, try and set anything up with, she was totally into you. And I was like, well, we had a cool conversation. Then I had to go home. What else do you want? You know, but I'm working on it. I've given myself a deadline of a life change that might be bad. All right, so let's hear Brian
TTS. We
flip
might
out.
lower it later on in the show. We just want to get through at least the early parts of the show a little smoothly. That way we can establish things. Wait, what were you at?
Nothing specific about what they said. I was just whenever I like to engage with.
Whenever there's a what? There's a what?
A comment.
Which comment?
The one. It's nothing to do with the comment itself.
You
I
just like to make
engage.
mouth farts when somebody sends in a comment?
Well, I
Yeah, it's
won't.
like a
I
sound
won't
effect.
again. I just like to engage with the chatters if that's okay.
Engage with what chat? What chat specifically?
Well, no,
the one that popped up, the
popped
TTS?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not being specific enough.
Well, what motivated you to make the mouth farting noise?
I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny. I'm sorry. I'm not like.
My
being
God,
mean.
he's got like
All
a
right, good time.
substitute
Don't quit your day
teacher.
job to become a.
He's got harsh substitute teacher energy. Like, what? Why'd you think that was funny? Why'd you think you could interrupt my class like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think too he's trying to like assert his dominance. You know, like
He just
early
comes off like a
on.
dick.
Yeah, I do wonder though what happened before the show. You know, like
Yeah.
did something happen before the show that really brought this on, or you know, what was it about? You know, because that's like, I don't know, Brian just seems to kind of flip out pretty fast sometimes.
It takes very little.
Yeah, like even with Nick, like, Nick, take that off the bottom of the screen and just, you know, and you could tell it's like he needed that because it was just like, oh, like such a thing built up in him, you know. I would like, honestly, if he was in a relationship with someone, I fear for them. He's the type of guy, you get in a relationship with him and you do something he doesn't like, he's screaming at you on the phone, you know. Like, I hope not, Brian, if you're watching, who I think is a great guy, a wonderful man in a very comfortable chair.
This is a good comment from Love God. Brian is trying to run a show and she interrupted him. It's that simple. I think if it's, and you run into this a lot, like doing stand-up, people do interrupt you, heckle you, whatever. You just have to be able to read the room and be like, is this worth me stopping everything and acknowledging this distraction, this disruption? Like, if that was, if she made one random fart noise, you gotta let that shit go. Everyone has a weird moment. Everyone's has, you know, they might be awkward, they might be afraid of public speaking. I don't think that if that was the only time that happened, I don't think it's worth stopping the whole show to acknowledge.
Yeah, it's like he kind of just railroads it. Like, what was it? Last week we were going over that. I think it was that Sunday's episode, and I mean, he just yelled at the Tamagotchi girl. Like, and really, was it that important? Like, he had just started the show.
And you know what? She's sitting in the Tamagotchi seat, so maybe he's just triggered by that area.
Yeah, and nothing was happening involving her at that point. And like in comparison, like this girl's making a plosive sound with, you know, her, what is it, what is it, berry something? I forget what the actual term for that sound is. There's a term for it. I think dingleberries, but I don't know. You know, she just makes that sound. He's got to stop everything to point it out, you know. But the Tamagotchi girl, it's like she wasn't even involved with the show yet. You just started the show. You're going to kick it off like, you know, just get everyone like feeling like, ugh, you know. But also, beer, 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 beer.
You can read it. Hold on. I'm sending a chat.
Okay. Kratos 2022, the god of time, I believe, in Greek mythology. Brian is a know-it-all D-bag. Oh, boy. Kratos does, the god of war, might not like Brian too much there. Fired. And also, beer, 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 beer. Deranged lunatic, a.k.a. DL. Wow, it's hard. You know, you mess up on the names. What's that thing on the end with the horse blanket?
Oh, the golden pink?
Yeah.
Horse blanket. I didn't know horses used blankets.
Oh, yeah, they do, I think. Yeah. Right?
Do they even lay down? Do they even cuddle up ever? They're always standing.
I think they can lay down, but I think they sleep standing up, actually, horses.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like, because in their stables and stuff, there's not usually enough room to really just, like, spread those legs out and chill. You know? I could be wrong, though. I've only ridden horses when I was really, really young in upstate New York.
Cool.
Okay, let's get back on into it.
Did we read this one? Did they run out of cute girls in Santa Barbara? We did that one.
I don't think we did that one, right?
You don't think these girls are cute, Zach? I think they're basically pretty cute across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of them are ugly, right? Like, I mean, maybe the girl all the way on the right, the piercings is a little bit much. I mean, but, you know, if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with the mouth piercings is, you know, when she, like, someday if she wants to take them out, then she's going to have two, like, not actual dimples, but scars right there in her cheeks.
You're going to have, cheek holes.
Yeah. It's not, that's not going to look too amazing. But then again, with everyone getting tattoos and piercings these days, like, maybe being old is going to look different in the future. Everyone's going to have tattoos and piercings. It's just going to be normal. We're going to see old... Their ears are going to be hanging down. They're going to be able to put their arms through their ear holes and just hang out.
In the future, everyone will have more holes.
Yes, the bonus holes. All right, let's get back on into it then.
Stand-up comedian. Let's keep it moving.
I farted. I wanted to hide it. I'm sorry.
And that's why I call her the farter.
That's great.
In all of my notes.
That's outstanding.
She's just known as the farter in my notes.
What is
I'm sorry. Yeah, this girl.
Okay, I guess that's a bit more forgivable, right? She's trying to hide the.
Next time, you should just be like,
Sav, does it? Can you confirm? Is it just absolutely?
Yeah.
Actually,
Beer, 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 beer.
Kratos is Greek for strong. He was strong last year.
Is it Greek or strong? I'm surprised Push Up knows about that. I thought he was Jewish, not Greek.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I thought he was the God of. He's in the video game God of War. It's a great video game. But yeah, I don't know. Here we go.
it smells pretty good. I kind of like it.
usually people like their own brand, but she's kind of
No,
telling
she's
me.
just special.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's my own brand of farts in a jar. I sell it.
All right, I feel like we got an interesting show ahead of us, folks. Let's go.
And
All right,
that's how we'll kick it off.
Okay, so
all right, now we're gonna skip ahead because they're gonna go into like rosters and stuff, which was like But this is we're gonna kick it off now. So we're at 4304. Chase points out he is not a feminist, and yeah, let's have some fun.
The official representative of the patriarchy. Let's go.
Oh. Beer, 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 beer.
Kratos, lol, the horse blanket is what you throw on before the saddle. It's not a sleeping blanket. Well, how would I know that? I don't come from money.
I don't think you need money. I mean, maybe you
Yes,
watch a
you do.
TV show
There's
about
no
horses.
broke people doing horse shit. There's no broke people riding horses, hanging
you can
out
watch
with
it on
horses.
YouTube.
I
You can
guess
watch
so.
it. Yeah. And maybe some people like watching the YouTube horses. You know,
guess
maybe they're into dressage.
Maybe.
You know, I think it's dressage, right? The horse dancing.
Yes, I'm surprised you knew that.
I know a lot of useless things. I don't know why. They're just in there, and I forget about them, and then they pop out randomly. I am not a horse girl. No.
Sure.
Okay. That's what they all say.
I love the patriarchy.
Give me some.
What do you mean womp womp?
That's what we're here to
Are
argue
you
about.
not aware that patriarchy is based?
I just threw up in my mouth.
Do you know who? Do you know,
Reagan would never say that.
okay. Do you know who owns
President
OnlyFans?
Reagan.
Beer, 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 beer.
Yeah. Kratos, he is in the game, but in mythology, he is the god of strength. I'm pretty strong all year. Don't hate, push up, JK.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a battle forming in the chat here.
Fight, fight, fight.
Push-ups. I'm just saying, Kratos, he's got like chains with axes on it. He's got multiple weapons. He could do the rolly spin thing of dodging. Scary guy. Scary guy. You know, he carries around a head with him. It's like, I'd be scared. You know. All right, here we go.
Oh, snap. Here we go.
Oh yeah, we can. It's a white man. You
Yeah,
guys,
I don't like that.
but you
And
capitalize off of it.
Men created.
It's so
No,
sex work.
they're capitalizing off of us.
Yeah, so are you.
That's no.
You are also
I
making
didn't
money
capitalize
off of them.
him. No.
Are you supporting the patriarchy by doing OnlyFans?
You
No.
make an active decision to do that.
Historically,
Yeah.
that wasn't the case
My
though for sex work.
OnlyFans was my first form of sex work.
Wait, historically, what now?
Historically, sex work was
Okay.
made by men. So they wouldn't rape the good women of the town.
Where-
What?
I just want to come in.
So they went our word.
There's been a few responses you've given to
R-word.
questions. We are trying to have. There's moments to be humorous, moments to just answer the question immediately without, like, what is the first rule of Fight Club? You can just answer the question.
Okay.
We gave you pre-show instructions not to say certain words. If it's absolutely necessary within the context of the conversation to bring it up, use like SA. I'm sure you know
Yes.
what that can stand for. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
go
realized.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your point.
So
Oh, God.
when sex work first started,
When
as-
was that?
That would probably in the 1800s.
Sex work started in the 1800s?
Yes, where there's prostitutes.
Brian and
Prostitutes
Chase
started in
are
the 1800s?
convening.
I'm not sure exactly what time, but I would like to.
So you're not sure that sex work or prostitutes started in the 1800s?
It's
I am
historical.
100% confident that prostitution did not start in the 1800s.
Okay.
I can assure you.
Okay.
So,
He
anyway, go
was
ahead.
there. He
so-
experienced it.
I'm a time traveler.
So sex workers were forced by men of the
He
town.
has his
different towns,
parchments with his
because
10
they would
stamps
have
and a
wives
free
of the
lap
women of the
dance.
town that weren't considered slut. Can I say it?
You can say slut.
That
that's
weren't
fine.
considered sluts or the whores or whatever the terminology.
say slut?
So they developed sex work so they wouldn't rape those women.
Bro,
and they would.
are you brain dead?
All right.
We're done with this
I think it's right.
Hold on.
The guy who owns have paid himself $1.3 million a day last year and still owns the billion-dollar company.
I love
But
this.
she just took a deep breath right there, though. If you know, she's like, "Oh no!"
Bro!
She's
So worried about saying slut, but then like, Oh my gosh, she's my favorite. He's got her all nervous now.
Yeah, I think she needs to have lighter eyelashes on though. Just saying, like someone with less weight is just all I'm throwing out.
So they developed sex work so they wouldn't rape those women.
Bro,
and they would.
Are you brain dead?
Grid one motorsport $200. The guy who owns have paid himself 1.3 million a day last
He's
year.
overreacting. Like you're not gonna get demonetized because somebody's. I mean,
yeah,
like, aren't you making enough money there, Brian? Like is it really worth to put your guest on edge like this? She didn't mean it. Fucking get over it, dude.
Well, I have a feeling something's up. Like we'll never really fully learn by the end of this episode, because I didn't learn by the end of the episode, like why they are so quickly, against her. Because it really was like, she made a little sound and Brian was already like, boom, like I'm paying attention to you, and I'm pointing out what you're doing, and then this happens and like that level. Who knows, maybe with his channel, he is getting dinged. Like, there's people looking out for any and every word, and they're trying to ding him. But, like, it's questionable. And right here, you see Chase and Brian having a little talk there, which, makes it even further, like, why are they so quick, So let's see. Let's just look at Brian and Chase here for a second.
So they wouldn't rape those women.
Bro,
and they would.
Are you brain dead?
All right.
Grid one motorsports $200.
See, like Chase is already kind of like should kick her out.
Still owes the $1 billion
he's like a
company.
proper
You are the
co-host.
product. Feminism has failed you. How can the patriarchy help you today?
Yeah, thank you.
Insanely based comment, Grid One.
Thank you, Grid One. Appreciate it.
What's your guys' definition of feminism?
Hold on.
Hold
Is there
on.
something you want to say?
Yeah,
I never finished my point.
Wait, but hold on. Are you aware of what you just did again?
You can explain it because I.
Okay, I asked you before the show. We said don't actually say that word just because it.
Now I want
fucks with
Brian to
YouTube,
say
whatever. You said it, and then not just now, but earlier. And then I said, please use the word essay. Are you coherent right now?
Yes.
Why did you say the word again then?
I said the word again.
What? Are you just not that?
I feel like this
wasn't able
woman's
to
a
finish my
liability
point,
to
so
the
I
show,
lost
Brian.
my.
Yeah.
We'll give her more chance, but please, like.
I'm trying not to.
I think
I'm not going to.
if you need to use that word, just say essay. We all know what you're talking about here at the
R
table.
word. I understand.
Or the
yes.
R word, I guess.
I think. Hey, excuse me 1 second. I think for the sake of your channel, one more strike, she's out.
Depending on what, but please. I mean, we've had to tell you multiple times. Okay, so.
I understand. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue with your point.
Like, am I right though? That's a little much, right?
This is too much. Yeah.
That was like, it's so fast. So it's like, I don't know what they knew about the girl before the show. So we're gonna learn more about her. She's like my focus for tonight. Cause we'll see.
It started so men wouldn't SA women of the town who are considered whores. It's a job that was developed by men. So yes, it's been developed by men through time, and OnlyFans is owned by a man.
What evidence do you have for what you've just said? And then, Andrew, if you want to come in.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, I want to make sure I got this right. So I don't want you to feel cornered. I just want to make sure that I'm giving back what you're saying to you. Are you saying that small towns in the 1800s developed systems for prostitution so that the men there would not sexually assault the women?
And yes, and I'm not saying specific. I don't know what time period, but whenever sex work started, yes.
Whenever that's well, I mean, sex work's been around.
Yeah, it's been around in America at least, because we're one nation under God.
It's been around since America's founding.
Yeah, since America's founding, sex work has been a thing, and it was started to prevent that from happening.
To prevent sexual
because
assault.
there's good women and women who are considered whores. They like and
so would
they
you
would
say
know.
then?
So they would be coerced into that.
I understand what you're saying.
line
So
of
would you
work.
say then that you think that women who operate as prostitutes would have been less likely or more likely to get sexually assaulted by men?
It's a great question.
The reason why they were even in that job is because they were more likely to be SA.
Yeah, but do you think that they would be more likely or less likely to be SA'd as prostitutes?
The whole point of them
maybe
not being
He's not asking about the point of them. It's a simple question. Do you think they'd be more likely or less likely to be SA'd as prostitutes?
More likely,
Yeah,
yes.
right. So
That's
then-
just
so then if the
it's
system was to
always
do
more
that
likely for
to-
sex workers to be SA.
So I just want to make sure I got the system right. So if the system is this is being developed in order to cut down on SA, and yet you're putting women in a position where they're more likely to be essayed. Does that even make sense to you?
Essay of the good women is what I think she
I don't
said.
know if you're understanding my
Well,
point. I'm talking
the
from a
good wo-
historical where sex work started in the beginning when America was found. Like it's been around
Where
forever.
did you hear this? Where did you get this information?
I've looked up multiple articles and historical.
Here, you wanted to come in? Go ahead.
Because I'd like.
Yeah, what she's talking. So like what you were saying is like, wouldn't they be more likely to? A lot of these women that were put into sex work in times like that, they had already been essayed by the time that they were like of
They were
puberty.
they were considered the town.
They were seen as dirty, so they were
Yes.
not. Nobody wanted
and
to
coerced
marry them.
into doing.
Why
this.
were
I
they
like that she
considered
has
dirty?
her back.
Because-
I think she's cool. I know she's on drugs currently, but I like cheek piercing. Cheek piercing girl is like, I got your back, girl.
Yeah, well, they're friends.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did they? They didn't say it.
How would I have known?
In the intros.
Oh.
Oh. Maybe they didn't say it in the intros. I'm sorry for the spoilering, people. That's my fail. I will now go work in a brothel.
Goodbye.
Because if they weren't married, if they weren't married,
Oh,
if
I
they
see.
weren't,
Because they
if-
weren't.
Yes.
So in other
Yes.
words, the societal standard says to them.
Yes.
Our standard is that you can't step out, you can't have sex outside of wedlock, you
Yes.
can't do these kinds of things. They did that anyway, violating the societal standard. So the men went kind of pushed aside and went, "You're undesirable, right?"
Yes.
Okay, so if they're undesirable, you're saying the only way they could carve out a living is to be prostitutes?
They didn't make. I'm trying to make a point that they were coerced into doing it to prevent men to not SA the good women of the town.
Good one.
Because those men would be married and they would step out of their marriage, and so the
I got it. So walk
whores
me through this.
of the city or the town.
Do you think that men got around in a table inside one of these towns?
I'm not.
and
These
they're
women
like-
did not decide at the beginning.
Yeah,
It's
they got-
decided
Listen
now.
to his question. Hold on just one sec. Hold on just one sec.
$200.
I was thinking about this since I saw this earlier. I wonder if she gets this from movies and TV shows and not actual like fact. You know, like you think of like Les Miserables, you know, where Anne Hathaway ends up, you know, having to sell herself to make, you know, get money for food, you know, because she's got a kid, right?
Oh.
And it was because she had a kid and she wasn't married, like she wasn't able to get jobs and stuff, you know, like stuff like that. I wonder if like, you know, the people like this, that's where they're getting this thought from. You know,
I
they're
wonder.
watching movies. Whereas like in real life, I do wonder what the real truth is. But then to take it further and then say like it was for their safety, you know, like if they were just out and about, like they'd be getting destroyed left and
She's
right.
getting defensive because she hasn't ever had to actually explain this point before. It seems like something she's always kind of believed and has never been challenged on. So I don't see the point of like making these girls defensive. But I think this show loves to just put women in their place and make them feel bad and feel dumb and feel promiscuous.
Maybe I do think on that one it was like that was a little you know, that was a little
They don't
much of
have
a
to be so
leap.
condescending about it though.
Yeah. Like that guy, he seems like, he says he's a pundit, you know, Andrew Wilson. So I think he's more so used to going up against bad actors, you know, because he's going up against, since he's a right-leaning pundit, he's going up against communists, socialists, and stuff that will lie about anything and everything, you know. Then he's going up against, like, I guess here, like a normie, you know, and it's kind of like, all right, you're swinging the heavy bat at, like, a normie in a way. You know, just a person that watches and watches creators, like, but like, it's like when you show up with your big gigantic, you know, wooden bat and just swing it down, it's kind of like, all right, like, you know, we get the point. Or let's just keep on watching. So I moved it ahead because they covered that topic. And then we're going on to, they were talking about capitalism is patriarchal, to continue on with, like, you know, the sex industry and how that started to keep people protected and stuff like that, to keep the men from, you know, somehow not destroying women so they had an outlet for their desires in the brothels, you know, which was leading to capitalism, and men control the capitalism. So let's enjoy the communists.
Situation you're talking about, matriarchy.
So here's a clarifying question for you. I'm going to simplify it. He asked you if it could still be a patriarchy if there's women at the top managing it, and you said if they're upholding patriarchal structures, it could still be a patriarchy. What do you mean by that? What are those patriarchal structures that those women at the top would theoretically be upholding?
Capitalism would be a good example.
Women benefit from capitalism. You benefit from
Anybody
it.
can. There's benefits. There's benefits and negatives.
Wait, so are you against capitalism?
Theoretically, yes. I think that there are
But
ways
in
that
practice,
it could become better.
in practice, you do OnlyFans, so theoretically,
Do you still like
I
her?
have to be able to live. I have to be able to live.
She's dumb.
So you're taking advantage of capitalism
Yes,
in order
I am.
to.
But
she's young.
Are you more in favor of like socialism or communism?
Yeah, she's like 23.
Yeah, what system?
Yeah,
if you
she's
don't like
a kid
capitalism, what
still.
system would you prefer to see?
Yeah, what's matriarchal?
Capitalism is when you're
Stop.
working
Hold on.
under.
This is a question for her.
So, I guess by definition, it sounds very radical in me, and I do consider myself to be a radical feminist. But I guess communism, the very simplistic definition that I have of communism.
Oh, 1 second. There we go. Beer, 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 beer.
From Viking, thanks for the super chat. As much as Brian claims to be against sex work, he loves making money off these girls and giving them a platform to promote their OnlyFans. It's true.
Yeah, is it like the double-edged sword, though, giving them the platform to promote, but also a platform to just shed light onto existence, you know, to let the world kind of make their decision on a person and weigh it, like, because,
Yeah.
you know, we can't say for sure. I know for myself, I wouldn't necessarily say sex work is necessarily, I don't think it really works out amazing, but I don't think it's as bad as people say if done in the right way. If it was like legalized and there was more protections in place and, you know, make sure that the girls are actually getting the money they deserve. And,
Yeah.
you know, if that's what they want to do, great, you know, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to partake, but, you know, I don't know. I mean, why not promote, right?
Yeah.
And also, beer, 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 beer.
Meow. Kratos, no one likes to accept that young boys were also forced into prostitution. They were known as boy whores. Only show I've seen that shows this was The Alienist back in the 1800s. True, and current day Hollywood also does this.
I'm scared to comment on that.
Good.
Yes.
That's how I like
Wow.
you. Okay.
But yeah, I had seen the super chat. I have the YouTube chat open on my second screen as well as like the StreamYard chat, and it loaded on my second screen first. So I paused the video and then I looked to my left and it wasn't yet here. That's why I was like, pause. Oh, like, it just wasn't there yet. Sorry. All right, so let's continue on with the Communist Manifesto of Pink Girl.
Communism, the utopian society that I envision would be a communist society, and that is because we would have like a trade of
Ah, your
system, so I could
face.
provide, you know, what I'm good at providing, what I enjoy to provide. You could provide to our, you know, to our shared society.
A stateless
what you would-
society?
Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
I think that it would be very
Yeah.
complicated to
Yeah.
go from where we are right now.
You
So I can
liked
end this
her,
argument very
Chrissy.
quickly for you.
We're not arguing about it. I'm just stating.
Well,
my
no, I
opinion.
can actually change your mind about this.
I don't-
Hang on, I can change your entire mind
Ooh.
about this. I promise.
Okay.
Inside of your stateless society, you would have to have an enforcement arm, like police officers or something like this, to deal with criminals, right? Wouldn't you?
I already
How
love
could you
his
enforce
tactic.
a hierarchy inside of your society
He's-
without appealing to a
This
hierarchy?
guy
to
makes
do
you
that?
think
Why would I?
he would be a great teacher. He does the opposite of what Brian does. He doesn't shame you. He actually tries to teach like a dad would. That's why it makes sense. He has 5 kids. He's dadding her right now.
Did he have? I thought it was the girl next to him that had all the kids.
No, he does.
Oh wow.
He's married to Rachel Wilson. Yeah.
Golly. Okay. So okay. That makes a lot more sense now for what's coming. I just communists, they bother me a lot because I don't think they have any like grasp of reality, like actual reality, you know. And I don't think they have a grasp of what communism really is. Like it's like what they actually want. It's like all of that will come from capitalism, not communism.
Yeah.
You know, if you want a chance in the world and be able to stand on your own 2 feet, that's not going to come from communism because then you're taking all your freedoms and giving it to the smallest group of people possible. And it's like now you're guaranteeing it's so much easier for totalitarianism and corruption to come into place. Whereas under capitalism and, you know, republic democracy, you know, you're decentralizing all of that. You know, and granted, yes, that can corrupt. It will corrupt guaranteed over time, like it has in our country right now. And then you have governors like Hochul saying, "Oh, we're going to have the cops visit you for things you say on social media," and it's like, "Ha, I think we've taken a step too far now." You know, like so. It's like these people. They give me nervousness You know, 'cause it's like, oh boy, what they would do to you. Like, you know,
Yep.
it's
They're
it's
just
wild.
young and they don't know. They don't know any
Yeah.
better.
But the only problem is there's a lot of them that are young and don't know because the schools at their age have turned into the indoctrination centers because it is all funded by the banks and everything. I mean, these colleges have like, what is it? Harvard has like $86 billion in their fund right now. Like
Wow.
they've got tons of money. They're rooking the people out of money because it's also any school loan is guaranteed by the government. So they
Right.
just keep on raising their costs and just getting more and more money. They don't have to pay tax on any of that money. They're making this money and then they have to invest that money. So then when they're investing that money, they have to appease, you know, every business that they're investing in and every direction they're going. And next thing you know, they're following these rules of a 3-letter organization that's halfway around the world that, like, you listen to what they want out of the world and it's like, oh, no wonder why all these places are going in one direction. The people coming out of it are going in one freaking direction. And it's like, yeah, but they're only saying harmless things because they're young, dumb, and, you know, full of something. And it's like, yeah, but these are the people that are why we currently have a governor that's able to say, like, we're going to send the cops to you for the things you say on social media. It's like, yeah, it sounds innocuous when it's just a blonde girl from Oklahoma or Kansas saying something like this, but it's like, this is the whole country, and it's every level of the country, from the banks to the corporations to everything, because BlackRock owns 90% of the country, and it's like, we're in a lot of trouble here. It's like, that makes me nervous. It makes me so unbelievable, and I hate to vent. I'm sorry for venting, but it really, truly, deep down, that makes me so nervous, a girl like her. Unbearably nervous, because that, you know, if we fully go into that totalitarianism and we're having governors around the whole country getting away with saying, we're just going to send the cops to visit you to come up with whatever they want from any post that they want. There's no real rule of what, you know, the rule you broke is. There's no law. There's no, you know, there's no liberty anymore, you know?
Yep.
And it starts from, you know, oh, just the innocent blonde girl, you know, saying, how dare you, you know, and next thing you know, you don't have gas stoves anymore. Yeah. You know, which is currently in place in New York. If you get a new stove, it won't be gas anymore because they're slowly trying to X out the gas stoves in New York. And if you count in the amount of houses that were sold and worked on since 2020, it's like 20% of the properties in New York. So that's 20% of the properties in New York no longer have gas stoves if they got work done. You know, it's like, oh boy. Okay, but I'm sorry for venting. And also, beer.
But Viking, yeah, but would you still hit it, Fealty?
No, I would not. I pass up. I pass up on that. you know, I'm a little ashamed of myself for passing up on the opportunities. But yeah,
Next
I'm waiting
time.
for the relationship. Maybe next time. Next time, then I could be like, I'm saved before 50. All right, here we go. Sorry for the vent, y'all. It's just, it makes me nervous. I'm very scared. I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. Back to communism
Because a
101.
stateless society is one without a hierarchy. We would agree that that's true. So if that is true, how could you enforce the norms of a stateless society without appealing to a hierarchy to do so?
So the norms that would be in my stateless society, I don't know how big this, would be, but we're talking about a hypothetical, I guess. So in my stateless society, the norms would be to commit ethical decisions. There would be a
What if
board
somebody
of the
violates
community.
those?
Yeah, then what?
Then then you have enforcement to take care of that, right?
Because people will inevitably violate.
Yeah,
So
I've had this conversation
So if
before,
people
actually,
will violate the norms of that society and you have to appeal to enforcement, that is a hierarchy.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. Patriarchy values women, protect them and cherish them. The idea that it preys on women is absolutely trash intellectualism. Feminism has failed you. How may the patriarchy help you today?
Bingo.
Look at her face.
Andrew, did you want to continue on with your point?
Yeah,
about
if you don't mind.
Oh, of course, go ahead.
So I'm
go
just
ahead.
saying, think about the absurdity here. Inside of a stateless society, there can be no hierarchy. If you have a hierarchy, you have a state. How do you enforce the norms of your stateless society without appealing to a hierarchy?
It would be I guess it would be somewhat of a hierarchy. There's two levels: those who commit ethical decisions and those who do not commit ethical decisions. And what's decided to be ethical is decided upon by the community.
Sure.
And then in my mind, the only things that can really come up to me that would require severe punishment or what was the word that you were using?
Enforcement.
Enforcement, yes, would be murder and.
Beer.
Push
Who
up
are you
for
in
me,
the-
Fealty. Let's nuke China.
I did not say that at all. I don't remember saying that at all. I don't blame China at all for the communism that's come around the world. I don't think it was China. I think it came from inside our house. I think it was here before China was even communist. I think it was starting to, spread before World War II. We've been on this lurch in this direction since the age of socialism started to arise in the country, and we started to privatize a lot of our what should have been companies and businesses to governmental organizations. That's kind of like, oh, why are we doing that? But here we go, back to communism 101.
Essay.
There's tons of
what
other
about
things. Theft, all kinds of things.
I don't, in a society when there's not a sense of scarcity, I don't think that theft would be a problem,
I mean,
unless there's somebody that's a kleptomaniac. That would
Let's
be like
take
the
all
only
those off then. Just violence itself, violent crime, stuff like that. If you're going to have violent crimes inside of a society, you're going to have enforcers, big, strong enforcers to go take care of any violent criminals who exist, right? Like that's going to be necessary.
Wait,
right?
do you in your society that you envision, do you reject the idea that there would be a criminal element? You think it would be impossible for criminality to materialize?
Not necessarily. I don't think it would be necessarily impossible, but then again, I haven't seen a case study where a society lives like this, to see whether or not it would.
Why do you think it would be possible then?
For there to be a society without crime or violence?
This stateless society that you're talking about, where nobody's stealing from one another, there's abundance everywhere, there's no scarcity, everybody's conforming to the same social norms, there's no hierarchy. I mean, you're describing what you call communism, but this is not.
Very loose,
communism has never played out like this.
Yeah.
You've had like small societies that have been communes where people have shared the same social values and they get along relatively well. But like, can you name a single time in history when what you're describing has ever happened at scale?
Beer, 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 beer.
Kratos, this country was inches away from communism before World War II, closer than most really understand. It's sad to see people still holding on to such a failed system. Well, they're not thinking of this. They're not aware of history. They're painfully stuck in their brainwashed present. But again, they're very young and they don't have the benefit of years of experience or, someone that used to live in a Venezuela or a country that has dealt with communism. So it's a pipe dream.
It makes you feel like it's almost as if communism is an inevitability by the nature of the fact that the youngins don't have the wherewithal or capability to really be able to find reality, because in their college there's no reality there, so to speak, and in the media there's none. And without, a poison pill, as it were, of a friend in school, doing the deep dives, that person's going to feel like the outcast. Because when you look around you, I mean, humans naturally form cliques and groups and everything. And you look around you, 99% of the people around you are all pretty much the same in many ways. And then there's that one person over there wearing the anti-communist shirt. You kind of like, whoa, that's the outcast. I don't want to be in that group. Like,
right.
And then the media is telling you that person's a crazy person and, using really bad words about them. And, it's like hurting the masses. It's almost like, I remember there was a documentary on asteroids, that near Earth orbit asteroids from our Kuiper belt that's out there. Like at any time, something like, planet destroying could come and there's nothing we could do. And their best hope for how they could save the planet isn't sending Bruce Willis up there with Ben Affleck to put, a bomb inside the asteroid. No, the way they do it is they put something next to the asteroid and over a very long period of time, slowly push the asteroid. So if you could change its trajectory by like 1% and you're millions and millions and millions of miles away, that 1% becomes a really big thing by the time it's going to come towards Earth. And that's what they've done for decades and decades. It's always been these small nudges, a little law here, a judge there, a police station here, another governmental organization, parks department, and all this stuff. And then, in 100 years, all of a sudden it's kind of like, whoa, how are we like 500 million miles away from what we were with liberty? And also, beer, 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 beer.
Kratos, I think I was the last generation to get a solid college degree. I got my BA in accounting. We didn't have any of the indoctrination that there is now. Sad.
Oh. So did you get, are you, what is the business masters or whatnot? Like, my ex had gotten that. Like, it takes like 7 years or something, but then you get like a BMA or something, I think it is. where you got like a business master's in accounting. That's a very powerful degree, man. Congrats, Kratos. You can, like, if you're an accountant, my grandfather back in the day, he taught MBA. An MBA. Thank you, Viking. You rock. But my grandfather taught himself how to do taxes so that he would never have to rely on anyone else for his money, as per that. Yeah. Like, and I always remember that, every year he would do all the family's taxes. And it's a de-stressor, it's a freedom.
Yeah.
But let's get back on into the Communism 101. Hope y'all are enjoying Communism 101 with Blonde Girl Crazy.
No, that's why I said that this was like a utopic type. This is where my values lie. And I do think that it would be very difficult for a society like the one that we have modernly to transition to this type of utopian
But
society.
if
that I'm
it's
describing.
stateless, that would be absent hierarchy. Even inside of what you're describing is not stateless, because you say that there is a value group who assesses what is moral and is immoral and is ethical and not ethical. That in and of itself is going to be a hierarchy and thus not stateless.
I didn't use the word stateless. I didn't bring it up in like,
Well,
it's
that
some
you just
stateless
agreed to.
society.
But that is communism,
I
right?
don't-
Communism is a stateless society. That is what is postulated by communism, is it not?
I use the word communism very loosely. It's commune, so we're living in a community, and ism.
Wait, so are you saying in this utopian society that you desire to live in, what would be the population
ism.
of said society? Because currently in the U.S.
I feel like that was similar to the "and such as" the Iraq. Like,
Yes. She should be in a beauty contest.
Yeah. Should we? All right, we're gonna skip ahead though, because she does keep on talking back and forth, and it's really kind of like the same circular
Yeah,
reasonings.
we get the gist.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the farters gonna weigh in on this now, and let's see what. Oh, look, Anna stood up.
We'll ask for evidence when like the opposing argument speaks, but we can't ask for evidence and you
No,
guys
you
show
absolutely
us.
can. You-
Like,
you
would
can.
you would
What-
show us? Because like,
Are you
if-
asking about
What
the
are you
evidence
asking for?
she asked for
No,
in
just
terms
in
of hierarchy?
general. I
No,
just
you can ask us
noticed.
for evidence.
But will you show us evidence if
Well,
we have
she
opposing?
did. She asked for evidence of a
Because if
hierarchy, and I gave her a logical
we can't take out our
demonstration of
phones
one.
and just show you
No, but,
empirical
but
evidence
what
of
we can
things.
do is just have a conversation where I can reference
Yeah.
things that have happened in history, and you can reference things that have happened in history, and
Yes, I just-
you guys may be lying about it. You may be telling the truth. We won't know because we're not going to sit here and take out our
And
phones and look
we
it up.
won't know either if your evidence is
Okay,
true.
well, that's a bit meta. It's a bit
Kratos, thank you. My master's is in forensic accounting. I like fraud investigations and auditing. Love you on FNT, Chrissy. Thanks, Kratos.
That sounds like so much fun. Fraud investigations, figuring out the ins and outs and money, and trying to make everything line up at the end of the day. Like, where'd that 10K come from, sir? Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that. I like numbers. I like maths. My degree is in philosophy. It's useless for nothing. Just saying.
It is, but it's like I don't like the. Do you have evidence
Imagine
of that
Brad's shirt and
argument?
using brain at the same
All
time.
right.
Impossible. Communism only works when everyone perfect. Nobody is perfect. Irony lies. Imagine pitching communism and not knowing what it is. Chase W.
I need to get to one more
I wasn't
chat.
the one.
All right, we're skipping ahead.
We
I wanted
didn't
that
get to
in
fully
there.
address.
Oh, here we go.
Did you have an answer when it came to the criminality component of your
I have a question
utopian
about that.
society? Do you have a solution?
I don't think it would be really a solution. I think it would depend on where the society starts. If we were to be able to fully and gently deconstruct capitalism in the way that it exists today, then maybe we could heal social wounds, for lack of better terms.
Don't you think this is pretty lofty?
How did my internet do
Where are
that?
you learning this stuff? Who are you consuming these ideas from, out of curiosity?
I've just done a lot of analysis of what's right and what's
But
wrong.
you're obviously like listening to influential people from maybe throughout history, reading books, YouTube, podcasts.
I just have one question. That's it, just one. Can you name 2 communist thought leaders?
Why is my internet doing this?
That's totally fair and a totally valid question.
Can you
I
name
mean,
2 communist
Karl
thought
Marx
leaders?
is like the best that I can give you honestly and fairly, and I can admit that, and I'm very okay with that.
Why
But
in the world
I
would you
used-
espouse an
you also
ideology if
probably
you
have-
don't even know the
I
names of
didn't
the thought leaders who espouse
Spout
it?
an ideology. You said, did you guys, or do I believe in socialism, communism, whatever? I said communism just like to loosely use the term to describe
Okay, can you name
what I
2
have.
socialist thought leaders?
I didn't say anything about me being a socialist.
I want to add, I'm gonna tie all this together. You saw that guy's super chat a moment ago about that TV show where the men were on one island and the women were on the other island, and all the women were cold and hungry.
I haven't seen it, and I would.
Let's assume for a moment that happened. Earlier in the conversation, I asked you if you could describe any non-patriarchal structures, and you referenced communism and socialism, and kind of basically agreed to your utopian vision as like something that could potentially be non-patriarchal, right?
have non-patriarchal values and social structure. Yes.
Okay. I just want to, I was talking about human nature before. In the kind of society that you're describing, a stateless society where there's like abundance and everybody's just like hanging out and they adhere to the same social norms.
Ethical values instead of social norms. Ethical values.
Ethical values. To his point, there is going to need to be enforcement because, to his point, there are going to be people that violate the social contract.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, the people that are going to be enforcing will be men, because typically men, if you look at all the data, men are more often violently criminal than women are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Women aren't going to be the ones standing up to the violent criminals violating the social contract. It's not debatable. We're way stronger than women are. It's going to take men to restrain violent males.
Yep.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't know.
We have lesbians.
Men have
Mm-hmm.
We have lesbians. We have softball players. That's about it.
I swear, you could read the future. I'm just saying.
So why do men have to protect from other men?
I can demonstrate
Men
this
have on average
logically.
3 times
I can
greater
demonstrate this
upper body
logically for
strength
you.
than women do, even without training.
Been raising my hand for a while.
One sec. Wait, do you take issue with the position that men are physically stronger than women?
I don't like that it's used, but I don't have any evidence for or against. I think that women can be physically strong. But I
Nobody's
know
saying they
that
can't be physically strong. I mean, she can hip thrust
It's
600 pounds,
yeah.
but like,
if I were to ask you this easy question, pretend that you were in charge of a prison, and you could hire all female prison guards for the most violent criminals on planet Earth, or all male prison guards with the exact same qualifications. Which ones would you hire?
The strongest. Period.
Okay, which ones are going to be the strongest, do you think?
I agree with her there.
Maybe I can add to that.
Evidence for who's going to be.
Like, I don't care if you've got 10 Big Bertha women that like could deadlift 400 pounds,
Right.
and out of 100 men, like only 100 like nerds show up. You gotta hire the 100,
Depends,
Big
right.
Berthas.
Are these Leslie Jones we're talking about here, or these petite gals?
Yeah, so I agree with her there. She does, she's not all out there. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because it's back and forth on this stuff, and it's long, so I'm trying to stick to the spicy moments. Here we go.
Okay, it sounded like you had something.
Yeah, I've had something probably 10 minutes ago. Let me think about it because I probably forgot it. It's like 10
No,
minutes
she's
ago.
not on
Who's
drugs.
him. So, do you think that a matriarchy society just means that because he sent that question that was like men on one island and women on one island, and then the men were fine and the women weren't. So do you just think that society should be only men?
no.
What's the solution? Because you seem to think that women don't have a value in any
No,
way.
certainly not.
That's-
That's
What
not
is
what
say that at all?
That's not what
What's
we're
the
saying.
value of a woman if it's not? Because all you're explaining is that men are stronger.
Her value is in her reproductive ability and her ability to take care
What
of her
if
family.
a woman was infertile?
What if she was?
Yeah, what if she was? Does
What
that
if she
mean
was?
does that mean that her purpose has failed?
I know, but I think that it makes her, generally speaking, less valuable to men inside of that society, wouldn't you say?
So you like the society under a
You
Reagan
think that
presidency?
she's less valuable as a person?
No, that's not what I said.
Under
Hang on,
God.
Are you saying-
Repeat what I said. Repeat what I said.
You think societally
No,
people
no,
will
hang
find
on.
her
Let me say it again.
less valuable?
I said that the men inside that society, where women cannot reproduce, or a woman can't reproduce, are probably going to find her less valuable.
In terms of dating and romantic.
Yeah, well, not just in terms of dating and romantic,
That's not a
but here's the
popular
thing.
opinion. A lot of
Let's
people don't
just
wanna have
walk it through.
children.
Walk it through logically. Do you think that women are equipped to do the same kinds of jobs that men are equipped to do?
No, but are men equipped to do all the same jobs that women are
Yes.
allowed to?
There-
No.
What job can women do that men can't?
It's vice versa.
Reproduce. I'm sorry, not reproduce. Give birth.
That's
Bear
not. I mean,
children.
that's not a job. It's
Yeah.
part of your biological makeup. But when I'm asking you, where are all of the female stonemasons? Where's all the female Green Berets? There's not a single one. There's not a single female Navy SEAL. There's not a single
Because we
female.
aren't raised that way.
There's not a single.
No,
hang on,
we're
stop.
not raised that way.
Let me
To
finish.
be
I'm almost
fair,
done. I'm almost done.
I think that women could hypothetically do those jobs, right? Just like men could hypothetically do a traditional woman's job.
they
Do you
can't.
think
But-
do you guys
but
see the same way? as a
typically,
woman
Ladies,
being
ladies,
brought
ladies,
up?
ladies,
Can I
ladies,
please
stop,
talk?
stop.
Can I please stop?
Stop.
But typically,
Yeah,
right,
Chase, knocking
stereotypically,
it down.
that there's a reason why men primarily have those jobs and they're better at those jobs, right? But
What do you think
hypothetically,
that reason is?
biology, absolutely,
Okay.
100%. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying there's hypothetically there could be an outlier, right?
Yeah,
that
but
a
we're
woman
not-
could be a
We're
Green
not
Beret
pushing
or whatever.
anything as a monolith.
Yeah.
Okay, so the argument has nothing to do with anything
James
being based
Sexton
around that.
donated.
There we go. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Isn't it fascinating though how they're like? It's almost like their reality doesn't exist. It's like, okay, we're gonna say women could do all the jobs men could do, and it's like, under what theory do you have here? We're going to say that communism is the utopic society that will be the fairest thing for men and women. When it's like, okay, what factual basis do you have on that, other than the fact that you're giving up all your freedoms and ownership to a very small group of people? And it's like, that'll work out well. It's going to be the shared opinion of the people in that scenario, because that's... Under communism, did you get the most direct, situation from the people's voice to the leader's voice, and not the complete inverse of that, of the leader choosing everything to happen to the people? It's like, this episode for me it wasn't triggering, it's just scary.
Aw, I'm glad that I wasn't on a show like this when I was their age, because I would have sounded just as retarded.
Yeah. Hopefully you're right, and it's really just youth. I really do hope so. But I do worry. I think a lot of people notice that, like, things aren't about right. Like, I was watching, there was a YouTube video I was watching with Jack Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne's son, just went on, he drove some guys around LA showing all the homeless and everything. And it's kind of like, even he's saying, like, yeah, there's things wrong, but even he's not at the point of being like, yeah, it's 100% leaders. Like, yeah, he takes a little jab at Newsom and says the people in charge of California aren't doing the right thing. But there's never, like, a full-on, like, yeah, no, like, our whole system of government, there's a problem here, and I do maybe worry that there's corruption. Like, it's just like, I didn't agree with this one thing. And like when you really think about the whole totality of what's going on, it's kind of like, I think we're really at the point past, like, I'm worried about this one thing to deal with the homeless. When your cars are getting broken into every day, if you look at the crime map, it's every single block in LA has had some form of crime happen on it. You have to start wondering, like, this isn't just Newsom doing this. No, this is your DAs, this is your local politicians. It's every layer, every step. So for these people, it's just, oh boy, it's nerve-wracking. Sorry, I need a vent, people.
I guess so, yeah.
I have a lot of pent-up worries for this episode. All right, so I moved it up a little bit here. Brian's going to poll the table. We're moving into patriarchy now because the patriarchy is evil.
It started from coercion.
Well, okay.
It was not.
We're gonna move on.
Historically,
Sorry for coercion. We're gonna move on.
saying. Yeah.
Nope, we're moving on.
Okay.
Okay, so.
You made a good point. But it's okay.
You had mentioned patriarchy.
She did that. I didn't need to show her point.
So perhaps we can get a sense of what the patriarchy is. But I do want to go around the table on this. Do you believe that there is a patriarchy? I think this is a yes or no. I'm gonna go around the table.
Just like plain yes or no question?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, of course.
I believe there's patriarchal values definitely in the majority of societies, just because throughout society, males have definitely been in the leadership roles and everything like that. I wouldn't say that there's a necessary straight patriarchy and that's the only way you can look at it, but there are definitely patriarchal values in most societies where men lead.
Yes. No.
I think we're in a little bit of patriarchy society.
Okay.
I actually think that the patriarchy is necessary. It's a necessary entailment of descriptive reality.
Yeah, I would also say patriarchy is a real thing. I would disagree with your guys' definition of it. I also view patriarchy as a principle to be a very good thing. And as somebody said in the super chat earlier during the show, I think patriarchy is something that has historically actually protected women. So one of the patriarchal structures. What, you want to move on?
No, but I mean, I want to ask the women here, what is the patriarchy?
Yeah. I was actually about to ask them too the same thing, or if you have a contribution.
Well, you've asserted that it exists, so the burden is on you to articulate what precisely.
But he said it exists too.
I didn't say that.
I can articulate how I see patriarchy, but Brian's asking you, what is it?
I mean, if you're asking my own view, I don't think there's a patriarchy because I think we live in a gynocentric society. But what's your?
Oh, Brian and Chase disagreeing.
So from the beginning.
Can you talk straight into the mic, please?
Yeah. Okay, so we were always raised with our parents and our grandparents, and the advice that I was given through my mother and the advice that I was given through my male family members.
Hold on.
Modest Hikima donated $200.
This is quick.
Brixon, thanks for saving me the time, money and brain cells by raising the TTS. Chase gonna be headbutt that mic all night long. Madison, welcome back. Girl 1,3, read a book, please. At whatever shorts too.
Yo, Jacama, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
I left that in the
do you
cafe
not
house.
think that, like,
You're saying your parents, your
how
grandparents.
present was it
Speak
with
into
like?
the mic, please.
Yeah. So when you are raised traditionally, you're raised by your father and your mother, and your father does a certain task, and your mothers do the certain task. So patriarchy is also like kind of aligned with like traditionalism, and you guys like traditionalism.
Mhm.
I'm not ever saying specifically I hate the patriarchy. I'm saying that there's things that get to a certain point where it's not about protecting women and it's not about the protection of everybody. It's about making your power the most in the room.
Gotcha.
But so what is the patriarchy?
Is being primarily raised by a father or a father figure
So you're
in
saying
this society.
you're saying patriarchal tradition.
Well, Chrissy, do you think we are in a patriarchy?
I do think we are.
I agree. Do you think it's bad though?
I don't think it's bad. I don't want to live in a place where that's not what we're doing. Like, well, what are your options? Patriarchy or communism? Yeah.
Or
no.
the matriarchy, so women in control in businesses, government, and layers of governance.
We already kind of have enough of that. It's like, I'm good.
So we don't need female armorers?
I mean, if they're really good.
Y'all should look up that video. The female armor. I still laugh about that. There's a little bit more here. Or you know what? Let's skip ahead. We already got enough of that. So 133.50. A little bit more here. I mean, like, I gotta say though, like, even though I do feel like these girls are wrong, this is a nice back and forth. I mean, compare this to Fresh and Fit. Compare this to just Pearly Things. Like, this has not really once been like, haha, I got you. I bang you down on these words. Like, you know, they're both sides are making points. And yes, the guys, I do feel over talking the girls a little bit. But, you know, I think logic and reason, it's, you know, gets your blood kind of pumping a little bit when you're hearing things that are just like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
But, all right, so I skipped ahead. Are women oppressed?
Okay. So question for you, for those of you who believe in the patriarchy, under patriarchy, are women oppressed?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Not in every way, but yeah.
I think the patriarchy is a tool for oppression.
Okay.
The oppression is a very hard word, but yes, there is a lot of under patriarchy. Women are essentially oppressed. Yeah, but that's a very heavy word. It's a trigger word or whatever.
I think honestly, currently now there is like a huge step up for women, where women are given the opportunities for better education, you know, roles into bigger companies, everything like that.
Her
And
hands are
I think,
tiny.
you know,
look how small her hands are.
Still, you know, points of like
That
where
is tiny.
you know, men might look at women as, you know, like not being able to lead and everything like that. And I think there are still those
You know what that
stereotypes
means, though.
present, but I think women are getting to the point where
Small dick.
So.
Small vajayjay.
I would agree with what she said. I don't
Ew.
think we're fully oppressed, but being worked
You
on.
say ew.
Under
I say
patriarchy,
ew to the
are men
small dick
oppressors?
thing.
Not all of them, I guess.
But okay, some of them.
I think it is a tool that can be used by both men and women, and it affects both men and women.
So there are women that use the patriarchy to oppress both men and
It's
women.
less about using consciously, but it's, like I said, it's very socially ingrained. So like in a lot of our actions and even the things that we say, like the way that we use words, it can be very subtle and then it can be very extreme as
What
well.
would an example be of a woman who utilizes the patriarchy in order to oppress somebody?
It would be kind of like the example that I provided earlier, where you guys were talking about how women will shame men for being vulnerable. Women are using the patriarchal structure, the patriarchal standards that have been created. I don't know if there was a specific person that coined that.
Yeah, but why would
thought.
that be oppression? Why would that fall under the oppression category?
It is very emotionally damaging for men to not feel like they can talk about their feelings. Right?
Okay, hold on. Under patriarchy, are men oppressors?
I don't like using the oppressive. Like, I don't like that debate.
Well, if you said women can be oppressed, so
yes.
Okay.
So
can-
I can't find a lighter word than oppression, but yes.
okay. What about you?
No, not necessarily. I mean, the entire terminology kind of bases
Small
like,
hands.
society as a whole. So I think it's just, you know.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Okay, so one or two more follow-up questions here. You guys are
Oh,
women.
because
you're
Brian has
feminists.
to have that.
I think all of you believe in the patriarchy. Are you oppressed?
I've gotten used to the position that I've been put in.
That you've been put in.
When you say the position that you've been put in, is it an oppressed position?
It could be seen by some, yeah.
Okay, so
depending on
let
your
me
views.
How are you
clarify the
oppressed?
question. Are you oppressed, and if so, how?
I'm oppressed. I guess, yeah. The way that I started doing sex work at 18, I started 2 weeks after I turned 18 because I was on social media a lot at the age of like 16.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's save the story. Brian's question was, are you oppressed, and if so, how?
Yeah, I'm telling you how. Being told at age 16, 17 that you're going to be making hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you sell them content of you naked, is that not like...
Is that oppression or opportunity?
You think that's an opportunity?
Well, hold on.
Or privilege.
Hold on.
Or privilege.
I wouldn't even say that's a privilege
Respectfully, I think that you have a serious victim complex. You said that you were put in this position, but you're also telling me that someone came to you and told you, hey, you can make a lot of money.
Not one person.
So, okay, multiple people told you, hey, you can make a lot of money if you do this work. And then did you make the decision to start doing the work, or were you forced into it? Did you make the decision?
Do you want like a release?
You
said you don't want me to trauma dump, so I'm not going to explain it to you. You said don't trauma dump, and you said don't make a personal attack, and I feel like you.
I'm not trying to make a personal attack, but you're telling me that you were okay. Let me put it this way.
I just want to point out she could have just said yes or no. Were you forced into it? Yes
well, she
or
wasn't,
no?
which is why she's being difficult.
Yeah, that's why I have a feeling. Like, I just wanted to point that out. Listen.
You're telling me that you were essentially forced. You were put in this position, and I'm asking. I want to say this respectfully. Were you forced by someone into this position? Like, were you trafficked into it, or was it a choice that you made?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm not going to answer that question. That's like something I'm comfortable answering.
Okay. Could you make the choice to leave the industry?
Yeah.
But you don't want to?
No, because I feel fine now.
So you're making the decision to stay in this position?
Yeah, because I feel great now about myself.
Okay.
And beer. Oh, that deep moment.
Did you really share these ideologies at a young age, Chrissy? I don't believe it. Lol, the indoctrination is crazy to see. It really is. It is crazy to see.
Well, did you?
Yeah, I was more, I was super liberal. I don't know that I was like hard for communism like these Gen Z kids seem to be, but I definitely was didn't understand like why homeless people were homeless. I thought, oh, they just need help. It's like, no, a lot of them are drug addicts. A lot of them like intentionally put themselves in these situations. You just don't know enough about the world and how it works, and you're not really paying taxes yet. You're not working, and you just think, oh, the idea that everyone should be able to get free stuff is a lot seems more feasible to you because you're not putting into it. You're not working.
That's utterly fair. Like, that just makes sense. It just sounds like, oh, you cared about people. Like, you see something's kind of wrong. You don't understand why. It's not like you're learning in school, like, how government works and all this stuff. And you're just like, well, I really, I hope something can be done to help them. But at the same time, it's like, you're diving. Like, you're focusing on your diving and try and get back into locked buildings,
Right. And, like, passing your classes.
Yeah. Yeah, which in and of itself is stressful enough. And writing, 100-page papers and reading 500 pages in a textbook in like 2 nights because, you left it to the last minute, and getting to know people. Like, it's not your fault if your life was at least like whether or not like privileged enough to be in college or not. I mean, you worked towards getting into college. You worked hard at your diving and everything, and then going to college and everything. It's like you work to get there, and then you are there. There's nothing wrong with the fact that like you focused on the lifestyle that is there, and living that lifestyle.
I don't think college age kids or even someone before the age of 25 should be encouraged to be politically active. I think that's not a good idea for young kids. And by young kids, I mean like anyone under 30.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. I registered as independent, not because I knew what it was, but because some guys were coming around with the election sign-up pages,
Mhm.
like the things you'd fold it over and put it in a mailbox, and literally, like, they asked us, like, "Are you registered to vote?" I was like, "I don't know. Do you have to register for it?" So he explained it to me. I was like, "All right, so what are these party things? I know I've heard of Republican and Democrat, but what does that mean?" And this is like, what, 2004? 2003, and they explained it to me, and I was like, yeah, independent sounds good. They kind of were like, oh, they're for, like, Democrats are for the working man and trying to get equality for, like, the people against, like, the rich people, whereas Republicans, they're more into the rich people and,
Right.
helping out businesses.
Like the Bush idea. Like the sort
Yeah.
of Bush years.
Yeah, of course they didn't mention, like, Reagan or anything. Like,
Right.
that didn't get thrown in there. But, like, so they said that, and I was like, yeah, okay, independent. And this is how ignorant and dumb I was. I filled out the paper, closed it up, and handed it to the guy. Now, that piece of paper has your social security number on it, your name. Luckily, knock on wood, everything was fine. But, like, yeah, like, I didn't know, and I didn't know for
didn't
years.
know.
Yeah, I graduated, a little bit before, like, 2008, and then I got my wake-up call trying to find a job in the 2008 era. Can't even get a job at Lowe's because I'm overqualified, and everything started costing a heck of a lot more money in comparison to that age,
Yep.
Like, it was like I couldn't even get any Elios or Chef Boyardee for a good price at that time, like, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start looking into what the heck is going on, and I actually found Tim Pool back then.
Oh.
He's doing the live streams at the Occupy Wall Street and stuff, and it was crazy. Right, so there's a little bit more here on. Did I get to the? Oh, we can move ahead. 140, 129. I hope I'm not bumming anyone out with this conversation, but I think it's very fascinating. Here we go.
Andrew, do you have anything on the wage gap? Because she mentioned that.
I've got something. You said that you do OnlyFans?
Yeah, it's very small,
Okay.
but yes.
So men who do OnlyFans make a fraction of what women make on OnlyFans. Would you say that men who do OnlyFans are oppressed because there's a wage gap between them and women?
And is it due to sexism? The wage gap on OnlyFans, is that due to the sexism?
Well, it's because of the patriarchy, probably.
So there's actually not really
supply
a
and
wage.
demand.
But so why is it supply and demand when women have an advantage, but when men have an advantage in some field, it must be evidence of sexism, wage gap, and patriarchy?
No, because this was a
Gay
business
men have
based off of
OnlyFans
sex.
too. It's just not.
Yeah, this is an industry based off of sex.
And
so
well, okay, let's talk. Let me
there
ask you a
is
question.
there are not as many gay people as there are straight. Gay men who want to buy porn do not.
Why don't
have
straight women want to consume?
Because I don't want to buy porn.
Not at the
personally.
same frequency that men do. But let me
you're
ask you.
not- I barely watch
Let me ask you guys a
porn.
question. Let me ask you guys a question. Hold on. Okay. Do you think, for example, the WNBA or women's soccer, right? You hear stories they're paid less than their male counterparts. WNBA players make far less than male NBA players. Do you think that is evidence of a wage gap? Do you think that that's sexist? Do you
Because
think that's
men don't
unfair?
watch it.
But do you think it's unfair? Go ahead.
I think it's less of a wage gap and more of men. So men are the main consumers of sports content, right? And then they generally don't have a lot of respect for women's sports. They don't.
Maybe they just don't want to watch it,
You're
just
getting
like women
around.
don't want to watch male sports. Sorry for interrupting, but like.
Or males
It's
OnlyFans.
essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's what
like,
I
I would
meant.
think of it the same way as like the OnlyFans. It's a almost like being an independent contractor. There's no set wage. Now,
Okay.
for other jobs where there are set wages, like the medical profession or like the medical field, you can see a huge gap in men's salaries versus women's salaries.
In the medical field?
Yes.
Or just
Are you telling me that
office
female
jobs.
doctors and male doctors get paid vastly different wages?
Yes.
Yes.
The exact working the same hours with the same credentials in the exact same discipline.
That's according to the studies that I've
What
seen.
were the male wages and what were the female wages?
I mean, I can pull them up real quick if
I
you
mean,
want to come back.
well,
It's probably just
I'm just-
a fraction
I don't
less,
think-
but it's still there.
Well, just going back to the
I need the exact number.
I honestly, I'm calling cap. I think if
But
there's,
women
if
are
I,
caregivers.
hold on, I think if there's a male doctor and if there's a female doctor and they have the same degrees, the same qualifications, they're working the same job. Let's use surgeons as an example, extremely
Exactly,
highly
yeah.
paid. If they have the same degrees and qualifications, they do the same kinds of surgeries, and they work the same hours, I would be willing to bet they're making the same money.
But
I
it's proven that
regardless
they're
of
not.
sex.
more likely to
Do
get
you
hired
have
as
any?
well, 'cause
Yes,
they're
they are
women.
probably more likely to get hired.
Do you
than
have
men.
female
Yeah,
doctors?
because they can
One
pay
at a
the
time,
women
one at a time.
less.
No, they can't. No,
These are
if there was a hospital that had a
these girls are like, they're so young, but they're dealing with such dusty facts and figures. They all need to operate their OS. Update. They all need to update.
Yeah, it only gets worse. I'm skipping ahead here again. Here we go. We're going So now we're gonna hear the farters take.
These women sound just like when you hear from like ignorant minority groups who goes, "We're oppressed because we're oppressed," you know, and there's no actual proof.
Yeah, and then you ask for proof, and you ask them to explain even further than that, and it just never goes anywhere. And then they get mad at you. You know?
They get mad. Yep.
And beer, 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 beer.
Clint Torres, howdy people. You know, when I one actually listens, rather thank Hunt for opportunities to make naughty comments. One can learn stuff in junk. Thank you, Clint. And thank you for not correcting your grammar or anything.
What is he saying?
I don't know.
Oh, listeners, rather than hunt for opportunities to make naughty comments, one can learn stuff in junk. Yeah.
Oh, he's learning. That's nice.
Yeah. It's very true. All right, so yeah, we're gonna hear the farter, as I call her. I can't remember her name, but she farted, and that's what I call her now.
As afforded are off the chart. Thank the patriarchy.
Oh.
And I wanted to finish the part about me because you guys asked before.
Oh, like how are you? Are you oppressed? How are you oppressed?
Yes, and I was going to answer.
Sure. Let's
I
go
don't
back to
believe
that.
I am oppressed because I make a good wage. I mean, as a woman, societally, I've been treated different. I don't know if you've had the, you know, are you going to get kidnapped when you're a child? When you're a little boy, did your mom pull you aside and tell you these things that you're going to be a victim? You know.
My mom was terrified I would be kidnapped.
Yeah. So, but a
Mine
lot of men
too.
aren't told those things. Like women are raised that way to where we're.
I was-
we're
Well,
scared.
Actually,
I was
speaking.
told that.
Speaking.
But
of
I don't believe now. I'm saying now.
Okay.
But I believe in general, yes, that women are oppressed. But I am at a place of.
Well, just I want to add one little.
I have
point.
more. There's people that can't speak for themselves that are of less status. I make enough money. I have my own apartment. I'm able to pay my own bills, and that kind of thing. So I don't believe that I'm oppressed because I work by myself, like personally.
But when you
me.
were a young child, you were oppressed because there were fears that
No,
you
I'm
would
not
be
saying
kidnapped.
the oppression thing. I'm saying that I don't believe I'm oppressed, but sex workers in general and women
Are oppressed?
Yes, like the
So why
lower
couldn't they
the
just,
lower
like,
the
choose
status,
not to do it, though, and
women are
stop the
of lower
oppression?
status. So they generally societally
Are they?
the lower status. Yes, besides being
I'll try to agree with that.
being,
Does any of
you
it
know,
make
able to get
sense?
free drinks at a bar, which is like
Or
wonderful,
not,
cool.
not being
I mean,
subject to military
What
conscription.
what is it when you say status? What do you mean by status? What do you mean by they're a lower
great
status
question.
in society?
Because women are just of lower.
Beer, 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 beer.
Clint Torres, I live in the moment. Shoot from the hip. Correct grammar is for the scared and oppressed. Thank you, Clint.
I live the same way. If you were to read the messages back and forth from me and Chrissy and stuff, quite often are the words written from my cell phone
No,
very incorrect.
He sends long paragraphs. That's the only way Fealty communicates is through gigantic paragraphs that I don't even read half the time.
It's true. I think in well thought out terms, okay? Degree in philosophy. I used to be able to write a 50-page paper in a night, okay?
Ooh.
Golly. These text platforms. I also prefer voice chatting, just saying, any girls out there, I'm very happy to talk on a phone. You know, I am single, you know. I prefer talking, actually. It's so much quicker. In 1 minute, I could say more in-depth things with more layers of information because you could hear the tone of my voice, the emotion in the voice, the actual words of the voice, and I could speak faster than you can even read, you know, and you get to draw in that information and interpret it and then be able to react. It's so much better than text. I feel text is so horribly inadequate. And I think that what social media has done with the text platform and then even shortening the amount of text you can even use is a detriment to human society as a whole. Here we go.
Status we're not
That's
taking
just
as
begging
That's a
the
rather
question.
different
That's
status.
a rather
but-
sexist
So,
statement for you to make.
so if I ask you, if
I mean,
say,
I guess
what's the
consider me-
He's not
distinction?
making that statement.
I mean, I guess
obviously.
consider me sexist.
No. But what I'm saying is that if I ask you, what
I'm
makes
genuinely
them,
trying to.
Yeah, if I say what makes them lower status, and you say because they're lower status, it's regressive. So you're just kind of
How-
restating
yeah.
the claim.
How-
so
how are they lower status?
What makes them lower status?
Societally, there's a hierarchy. There's just a hierarchy. Men.
It's
are
just there.
Up here.
Yeah.
Women are
It's
here.
just there.
Depending
Do you think-
depending on
What can
what
women not
and
do
then
that men can?
and then what can women?
Do you think
can I
men?
was talking
Do you
to
think
them.
men are more valued than women?
Yes, absolutely. And
Let me ask you a question then.
especially if sex
Hold on,
workers
hold
are
on.
less
One
and
of the
less.
rules that we talked about at the beginning of the show is when either of us are talking, you need to stop. Brian wanted to ask you a follow-up question. You keep talking over everybody else on the panel, okay? Let him host the show, please. I'm
I'm
starting to get fed
trying,
up with it.
I'm trying to. I'm just bouncing.
I know
off
you're
the
trying. I know you're
conversation.
making a lot of
It's
different
okay.
points.
It's all
but,
right.
like,
It's all right. It's okay. It's
Beer, 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 beer.
Sending TLDR messages? How could you? Thank you, push-ups.
What is
Russell
TLDR?
Hall. Too long, didn't read. Oh, hello there. Wait, what's this? Thumbs down. Ooh, thank you, Russell. Good to see you again.
Someone's a little salty from this morning.
It's okay.
Yeah. We love you, Russell. I love Russell. I think Russell's hilarious, just saying. And I also think Brian is a great guy. Okay.
It's okay.
I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm
Don't
trying to
worry,
bounce off the
okay,
conversation.
it's fine. It's fine. I'll continue with the conversation.
Yes.
So, if it is the case that men are more valued than women, why is it the case that throughout all of human history, when there's a war, for example, men are the ones who are sent to war to go and to die? In my view, I believe that men are actually viewed as the disposable sex. I would argue that women are more valued because when it comes down to warfare, men are going to be the ones that are sent to war to go and die. Men are disposable. Women are valued.
When women went to war in the 50s, or when men went to
In the
war,
50s, are you talking about the Korean War? What are you talking about?
I'm not well versed in
Which
the
war did women go?
specific-
Yeah, which
the
war
historical-
did women go to?
But
this is
there was a
brutal.
certain war time period
Yeah.
were women were taking the work. They were doing all. They
Okay,
were
I
sending
see
the
what you're saying.
clothes. They were in the workshops.
Is that them going to war or being
no,
part of the
and
war
they
effort?
they would have to go
Just
to.
let me finish, please. But go ahead. No, I was. You interrupted me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta just point out. Just let me finish, please. But okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like, what was that?
Oh, boy.
Let's watch that again.
They were sending the clothes. They were in the workshops.
Is that them going to war or being
no,
part of the
and
war effort?
they would have to go
Just
to.
let me finish, please. But go ahead.
Everyone's short circuiting. The women are all on edge. Everyone's on edge.
Look at Chase's face. Of like, I am going to wreck you on this topic.
Aw.
like you are being utterly ludicrous right now. I honestly, zombie girl. Someone said in the chat earlier. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but someone pointed out that she's zombie girl on the right. And ever since I saw that in the chat, that's all that's been in my head. Cause look at her, she's a zombie. You know.
Oh, she's just
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. Or yeah.
She doesn't feel hurt.
No, I was. You interrupted me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm okay. I'm gonna.
No,
just-
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like you to finish.
Just go ahead. But you said when women went to war, but I think you were talking.
They
I was trying to
like
clarify
each
your point.
other.
I think you were trying
Like,
to say
no,
that women were
you.
assisting with the war effort. But are you talking I think you were referencing World War II. Women did not, at least in the United States. There's maybe one Russian sniper division. Maybe not. I might be using the wrong word there. Women in mass were not involved in World War II from a combat perspective. But so, what were you saying?
I forgot.
Okay. Just out of curiosity. Hold on.
I would like to ask.
Hold on. I'm really tired of this conversation. Out of curiosity, for you two, do you guys feel oppressed in society as women?
I feel privileged.
You feel privileged. Why do you feel privileged?
There's a bunch of things as a woman that I can get away with that men can't.
Like what?
Like certain kind of expectations.
Okay.
Like say we're walking on a sidewalk and some person comes up to me, I would expect them like and did something weird or made me feel uncomfortable. 9 out of 10 times, like say I'm walking around in Seattle, there'll be another guy that's like, dude, what are you doing, right? But if a dude gets in an argument with another guy, like it's a fight, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel valued. I feel like there's so many things that I can do. I feel like I'm picked over men a lot because I am a woman.
What do you think of the narrative that women are just oppressed throughout all of society by the patriarchy?
I think it's bullshit, and I think that it's a victim mentality. And I think that the more that you preach about it, and the more that you try and convince yourself that, the more of a victim you will probably behave like.
I would agree with that. How about yourself? Do you feel oppressed?
No, not at all. How our household works is my husband is the head of the household. And I absolutely love gender roles. I think that they're really important. And I think that the sooner that we embrace them, you can find freedom. And with my husband, I have learned to be a submissive wife. And he always tells me, you submit yourself into freedom. If you go down the street, you can do whatever and say whatever you want. You carry a big husband. I fall under the protection of my husband, of a man. I think societally, I think that men dominate the system, but I think for the right reason.
What is that reason?
I think that men are qualified for, how can I explain this? I think that.
Do you think it possibly comes down to like competency, drive, motivation, male, testosterone fueled motivation for success and to reach the top of industries and stuff like that?
I think so. Yeah. With the workforce, I think that men absolutely have that driving force. I think that women are, here's going to be the hot take. I think that women are made to be feminine, to be supportive of men.
Nicholas donated $200.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much everything there. We're gonna skip ahead again. But yeah. The feminism debate.
I kind of want to hear more from her, actually, the more she talks. I'm like, oh, would have been nice to hear you the whole episode.
Yeah, she doesn't really talk much. We could go back, though, if you find that interesting. That sounds good to me. 5726. All right, she's going to give the advice on what fulfills you.
Ooh.
Person as much as I can without getting anything back.
Ooh, that's gold right there. What advice would you give out there to the women who are stuck in their pride and don't want to become those submissive housewives? Because it's something a lot of women struggle with.
I would ask what fulfills you.
Okay.
And does money fulfill you? What is it that drives you to live? I mean, for me, when I had children, my life got significantly better. I mean, the meaning of fulfillment, happiness, joy, love, all of those things, I experienced it in a way that I never thought I could. So there's hope. I know not all women want to have kids and want to be in a marriage or in a relationship, but I wouldn't discount yourself. And I love when my husband said, just submit yourself into freedom, because once you do, I get the respect from my husband that I deserve. He absolutely treats me like a queen. Being a queen means as soon as I come in with the groceries, you know what? They're at the door. They're taking the groceries out of my hand. I don't have to lift a finger. I don't pay the bills. I get, what do you need, honey? Here's the money. What do you need? Buy yourself whatever you want. That's what it's like to be treated as a queen. But I treat him like a king, and I look at him like he's my leader, he's my protector, he's my provider, and I'm going to treat him with respect. When he gets home from work,
Chase is hard right now.
Go take a shower. Here's your dinner. I'll be ready for you when
his face
you're all
is red.
settled in.
Like he is
And
getting red.
I know a lot of women don't want to hear this, but this is reality, because look, I've been married for almost 6 years, and it has not been easy. And some family members know what we've gone through.
How much easier has it become since you've adopted that traditional gender
He
role?
cut off Brian. He had to
it's always
talk
going to
with
be a
her.
challenge,
Yeah.
because by nature we always want to go back to the self,
Okay.
and we always want to serve ourselves.
But has it become easier? Has it made you guys live in greater harmony?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
And you mentioned pride. I have actually a quote, Proverbs 16:18, pride comes before destruction and an arrogant spirit before fall. You had something, and then Sav, did you have something? I saw some hand raises earlier. Go ahead.
So I would like to say that you are totally like within your rights. It's beautiful that you want to be a submissive wife, and you know anybody that does want to be a submissive wife, I think you should be able to take that opportunity if the relationship allows for it. But I think it would be oppressive to push that upon other women. Does that if we lived,
No one is
you know, where
pushing
you
that on
had
any
to be-
women,
I-
but other women.
A woman had
Yeah.
to be a submissive wife.
You don't have to do anything, but
I know.
it might expand your pool of potential romantic partners if you're prepared to fall into a more traditional
Let's dive
and
into
desirable
this,
role.
just because I'm curious now. I just want to hear the
Wait,
answer.
just before we dive into that, I just want, these are about to fall off on the chat, so I'm just going to read them really quick. Yo, trad wife Cleo, as a woman, men are superior to women in any and every way. Not my word. Don't shoot the messenger here. Question for the girls: would you rather be in a house with a man in a house, or a woman in a house if there was a break-in? Love you, Chase. Wait, so would you rather be in a
Love you too.
house with a man, or in a house? What?
If
Pull
there
it
was
up
a
again.
break-in, would
Pull
you
it
rather
up.
be with
A man or a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Whoever has a gun.
Okay.
Neither have a gun. Everything's equalized. Would you rather a man protect you or a woman?
If everything's equalized, then it doesn't matter. If they're
No. I
equally
mean, like in
strong.
terms of weapons.
No, I think
Just
so.
your
What
bodies.
you're saying,
Just your bodies.
I don't know what
there's
their
no.
bodies look like.
You're saying that there's.
I'm just saying she has a good pushback there because everyone says like 2A is the great equalizer, and then you ask her like, who would you rather have in the house? It's like, well, do you support 2A? Do you not feel it's the great equalizer? Like,
Yep.
you know, not the strongest push there on their parts, in my opinion. But, okay, so yeah, she's going to go on a little more about men being stronger than women here. Oh, you know what? Well, we already know that's what they're talking about. I'm going to skip ahead. Because what's about to happen is pretty funny. All right, so let's see here.
woman and the man is stronger, I will choose a man. If
Go
the
ahead, man,
choice.
pull it up. Men maximal hand grip strength showed the expected clear difference between men.
Bless you.
Less expected was the gender-related distribution of hand grip strength. 90% of females produced less force than 95% of males.
So 95% of males
And
were
this-
stronger than 90% of females.
This is grip strength. This is not fighting strength. I'm telling you.
You're not fighting with your grip.
I know you
Just carry a gun.
I'll get it. It's fair. So let's just try it this way. You had to choose blind. You have to choose blind, right?
It's gonna work.
So
It's not going to work.
no, you have to. That's
Okay,
the
that's
nature.
why I'm
This is the
responding.
nature of the hypothetical. You have to choose blind, whether or not you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get
Just a roll of the dice.
A super tough, awesome ass-kicking chick who knows ninjutsu or a UFC fighter dude. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's a 50-50 shot. You don't know what you're going to get. Who would you roll for? Who would you roll for? Who would you hope came out the other end?
She's not going to. She's not going to.
I'm like, I'm
give it to you.
genuinely.
Yeah, no.
there's
But
so
who would
many
you? But
variables
if
in
you
this
had
hypothetical
to choose
situation.
one or the other blind, you don't know, right? Right? You're rolling the dice. You can only choose one. Do you want a man to come out or do you want a woman to come out? You don't know what the variables of them are going to be. You only know this one task, which is that they're going to defend your life. Which one would you pick? Which one would you pick?
I just want to let you two gentlemen know I'm witnessing the case against the 19th Amendment play out in front of my eyes right now.
You actually don't have a preference. Wait. You don't have a preference then?
Okay, so you're giving me rolling the dice, right? All of the women in the world, all of the men in the world.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to roll the dice?
Because
and then even if they're gonna fight for my life with all of their strength that they have.
Hang on. Listen, a hypothetical is designed to test your logic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're doing a thought experiment.
Hold on.
Modest Hikima donated $200. Girl 3, I'd quat to say. 4 on way to red pill. 1 wouldn't answer if she was forced into sex work. Call 911 please. Number 7 FKN based. Lucky man. Minimal makeup superior. 3 has gun. FKN scary with 0 brain power.
Okay. All right. Jakama.
I'm just gonna pause on Zombie Girl's face there. Just the utter, just trying to understand it, can't fathom it, trying to read. No, she's not on drugs. Not at all.
Aw.
Yeah. That's a little
I don't know. I'm not sure. He was talking about numbers. It was very confusing.
So the question becomes this. Because they're trying to test your logic and say, we're telling you that on average men are stronger. And you're saying, I'm not sure because unless I have the studies and this and that. So what I'm testing your logic to find out is this. If we had a situation where you had to choose blind, it's going to be a random woman or a random man who comes out to defend your life. And you could only choose one. There's a button there that's blue for man and red for woman, right? Which button would you push? You can only push one.
I don't think she's going to go for it,
I think we can ask this question a million different ways.
I will answer as close as possible to the answer that you guys want me to answer.
I don't want.
We want what?
I want to know what you think.
That's what I'm.
Okay,
I don't want to hear what you think. I want to hear.
Go ahead.
Okay, if we take all the men and all the women in the world, and there are more stronger men in this numbers, in these numbers,
in this roll of dice,
if there's
they're
more
saying.
strong men than there are strong women, I would choose men.
Okay, let me ask you a follow-up question
Does
related
that
to
make
that.
sense?
So,
Was that thorough? Okay.
I think the previous question I asked you was, who do you think the 100 strongest people are in the world?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, you said you didn't.
I
Are they
looked it
all
up.
men? Are they all women? Is there a mix? All the men and all the women in the world, are men stronger than women physically, generally speaking?
We did talk about this earlier.
Well, I'm just
so-
asking, generally speaking, are men physically stronger than women?
Didn't I already say that? I could not answer the question.
Pound for
they're
pound,
really
they are.
fighting
Muscle
them on
density,
the
bone density has
basics.
proven that
I'm
men.
pretty sure we.
They're really fighting them on just the basics.
Yeah. Well,
They
'cause
know
they
they're
don't
wrong.
want to give an inch.
They know they're wrong.
You think so?
They do. They know. They're just being difficult.
Do you think they're being difficult just to troll though, or just because they're
No, they
hard-headed?
don't. They're being difficult because they don't want to feel stupid.
Oh. Why would they feel stupid though if they didn't truly know?
Because they already feel stupid. This whole episode has been like, what studies are you reading? What are you basing this on? What podcasts do you listen to? What books are you reading? And none of them have answers for any of it. They already all feel dumb. Their pride won't let them take any L's though.
Do you think that though? So they go through this experience. Do you think they're more or less likely to open up their minds after this and venture?
No, they're gonna probably talk to each other after and be like, they were such assholes. They were so mean to us. But this show was made to get clicks. It's not made. I think what's his name? Andrew here has the best tactic. He actually is trying to reach them and he's trying to educate without being condescending. And he's not being too proud about it. And the best teachers they're smarter than you, but they're not constantly reminding you that they're smarter than you. But this show is not to educate. It's Jerry Springer. So
And that's why we love it. And that's why Brian's a
That is
nice
why I
guy,
love it.
talented, should have great guests on with red hair, preferably after April.
Aw.
All right, so I skipped ahead now because they continue talking. I mean, that whole portion, like, I wish we could watch the whole thing, but the whole portion of that just it doesn't end. So this is where Brian now he has his rebuttal moment, and
The deadlifting records.
Yeah, this is the male.
This
Belongs
is
to.
really interesting.
So the male maximum deadlift record was set by Oleksiy Novikov of the Ukraine, who set a new world record by lifting 1,185
Nick, this isn't a
pounds.
comparison. You need to get the
Do you have the
comparison.
female? Do you have the female numbers?
Okay.
The female record was 672 pounds.
So
So the
about
male record, that's an extremely impressive deadlift for a female, by the way. It's an impressive deadlift for a male too. The male deadlift record is almost twice as much as the female deadlift record.
Well, wasn't it 1,800 pounds?
It was
It was 11.
1,180
pounds.
So it's double
like,
about.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
about-
100,
the same for the grip
175%.
that we just looked at too. That statistic, it's about the same
Okay, so
in percent.
biologically speaking, are men physically stronger than women?
On average.
Girl, just say yes for them.
not-
They're just,
can't.
they're, it's
Why-
not.
why-
But why
we
can't
just-
you-
Girl,
women
just
are-
say
I'm
yes
so
for
curious
them.
about this. We just showed you.
You asked for the
in
stats.
all
Even
due
though it's
respect, we just showed you
You just have
empirical
to submit
evidence.
to the men in the room.
No, it's
No, but it's-
we're presenting just this is look.
Yes, and I accept these facts. I accept that these
the
are facts.
strongest woman in the world at deadlifting lifted almost like a little over half of what the strongest man in the world did. Like all of the men and women in the world, those are the two strongest, and the man was almost twice as strong. Like, would it not be fair to concede that men are
Do you know
on
what this
average
is all
stronger?
I
about?
think she's trying to say something. and
If these women are hanging on so tightly to the I'm oppressed, I'm a victim, because what the alternative is, you have to admit to the fact that you have made poor life choices or life choices that you currently regret. And they're just holding up the dam, you know? They're all just like, "Ugh."
But then again, wouldn't that also then be further proof that their life choices might not be in
But
the
they don't,
right
again,
direction?
they don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit they're not educated. They don't want to admit they've made poor choices because they're too proud. So they're going with this victim bullshit.
I wonder though, because like I mean, there's girls who like are in that career that are perfectly happy, you know.
But these aren't them.
Ah, okay. I wonder how the ones that are happy get to that happiness compared to ones like this.
These girls are all pretty young. I think the shows that we've watched that have some of the women that are a bit older and they work at either the legal brothels or even like the sex counselor, or even someone like a Brandy Love, who's a veteran, who's like, yeah, I'm in this for the love of the game, and I'm very confident in myself. And they've had many debates, and they've been challenged many times on why they do this work, and so they've just had practice defending themselves, whereas these women don't have that at all. They're just their defensiveness is shining through before anything else.
So what do you think comes first then, the ability to withstand the reality, or
Well, when you're new in the sex industry business, you're all kind of like, you're all freshmen, right? And it's to be determined who is going to be in it for the long haul. Like, who knows? Maybe one of these women could end up like a Brandy Love or like a Karma RX or whoever, like an industry standard veteran type who's very successful. But they're all like sub 25, so they don't know yet. They're just too young, and they're not at a place where they can defend themselves in their work, and they're just like, we're doing this because we make money. And the blonde chick with the heart sweater is like, oh, I'm oppressed because I was tricked into going into this thing that was going to be all validation and money up front, but then I later on would probably feel bad about it. But you even heard her say, now I'm kind of comfortable. She's resigned herself to the fact that this is all she can do with her life. Doesn't mean she feels good about it, but she's resigned herself to it, which is very different than being like, I love what I do. I love sex. I love performing for people. There's just, it sounds different when you're talking to somebody who really loves what they do versus somebody who's like, I'm doing this because it's good money and it was very easy to fall into.
Yeah, she did. If I remember correctly, she was saying like when she was like 17, everyone was telling her like, "Oh yeah, you can make money doing this. You can make money doing this," and then she does it, and it's like you said, like yeah, it was over time. She's like, "Yeah, I'm comfortable with it now." Like
Yeah.
So it is interesting of like, yeah, what changed that? Is it
Comfortable with it is different than I love this job. This doesn't feel like a
No.
job for me. It's fun.
No. I mean, looking at her, she doesn't look like a happy person to me. I don't know. You know, I don't really, I haven't seen much happiness in her the whole show, but who knows? Maybe it's her narcolepsy, right? I don't know. I don't know. For girls, it's different. For a guy, like, I guess it is different, though. I don't know if I would suffer, if someone told me, yeah, I'll pay you $100 for, you know, sex or something. I don't see how it would affect me mentally, like, if I just said, yeah, okay, like, I wouldn't, you know, I'd be worried about the possible, like, health repercussions and the creation of a life, you know, but, yeah, aside from that, I don't know. I wouldn't be too affected. I don't think. I really don't know, though. You know, I don't know. But then again, I don't hate myself too. So it's like there's no real validation I'd be looking forward to gaining, right? Like, yeah, do I think I'm perfect? No, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm a 10, but like I don't hate myself at the same time. I think I have many great qualities. So like, if I was to do that, it would be purely on like, oh, you're gonna give me $100? Like, all right, you know, it wouldn't be at all like, am I a worthwhile person now because I can earn money by just my body parts, like not who I am, but just my body parts, like. So, I guess then that would be like you're saying, like the girls who have been in it for a while that are happy doing it, they don't need validation in any way, shape, or form for like their body parts, right? They're happy with who they are as a person. And that other side thing is just like, yeah, I could do this thing to make money, but it in no way, shape, or form, you know, creates who I am, you know, because who I am is a whole person aside from that in a way. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I feel bad for her. And also, beer.
Kratos, the MMA fight with the highly trained, peak physical conditioned women versus untrained trans man who dominated her in the fight debunks all arguments. Even Joe Rogan called that shit out. Thank you, Kratos.
Yeah, didn't she broke the girl's skull, I believe, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let me know, Kratos. I'm pretty sure she had broke the girl's skull and other parts of her body, like a collarbone. Yeah, Fallon Fox. That's just crazy. That's crazy. All right, I moved us ahead a bit. We're trying to get through it here. So we're going to get the 2 + 2 = 5 moment really
Even any
quick.
sports?
No.
Okay.
So like I'm more than willing to admit what I do and don't know here, and that's what I'm trying to put across. Is like
if somebody told me 2 + 2 was 4, I wouldn't sit here and just be like, well, I'm not sure.
I don't know
like,
enough about it yet.
I don't
would need to
know.
look
I would
into
be
it.
like, oh, thank you for letting me know that. Sure.
Yeah, everyone's saying yes.
I haven't
to the
seen enough
breaking
evidence
of
that 2 + 2
Why?
is
Why
4,
is it that in sport? Why are in sporting events? Why is it separated between men and women? Why do you think that is?
I don't know, and I don't really like it. I like in my utopia that I described earlier. I
You'd
would
rather
think
women be able to
co-ed
play
sports
football
would be
and
cool.
you'd rather women be able to play football against males in football and just get absolutely destroyed.
I'm not here to tell anybody what they can and can't do. If they have fun, the whole point of sports is to have fun and enjoy fun.
No, it's to win.
competition. It's fun competition. Because other than that, there's no point to sports. You just beating each other up.
It's to win, and if women were competing against men, we would always lose.
Every single time.
What? Because of men's.
Anatomically, we are weaker.
Well, what if they train
period.
twice as hard?
That's not how it works.
That's not reality. That's not biology.
It's not black and white either. Sometimes like it's stronger. It's like such a black and white conversation.
It's not a black and white conversation.
And there's no nuance to it because like sometimes maybe like there's a men against women and women will win, but like it's just so.
Here, this might be able to get to the crux of it. So, in Olympic, the 100-meter race. Who's of the world records that have been set between men and women? Who's faster?
Men. Is it men?
It's men.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
swimming,
it men?
Who is faster, men or women?
Is it men?
I don't because like I've
Nick,
said,
can you
I
start
don't know.
pulling up Olympic world
No,
records?
if you say it's men, I'll believe you.
I think what you should
'Cause I assume
what you should look at too, right, is the strengths and weaknesses. of
Anna's
women,
weighing
right?
in.
Like if you look at women, right, they actually have more productivity in their frontal lobes, right, which allow for like better like empathy, delegation, like like we can like write better everything kind of in those terms, right? Men have physical strength.
I actually just
That's why
I don't
it's
even
kind of the
believe you at this point.
combination
Like I
of
literally don't
genders.
believe you. It's not possible at this point for you to even continue. Like At first I did. I was like, just maybe she's really stupid. But the thing is like, ultimately, I don't think that that's the case. I think that you, at this point, do know, or maybe you're just like playing along. I don't know. But I don't think it's possible.
Okay, guys.
I feel like you can have a daughter her age and you're calling her stupid.
There's no possible way.
I don't know why you have to use.
Try to keep it.
There's no possible way at 19 years old you didn't know that generally men are stronger than women.
She's not politically versed, and she's not well versed.
It's not a political issue.
Like,
what political issue? It's the pain is white, and we're gonna argue. I don't get it.
I did just admit that I understand that there are physiological and beyond that differences between biological men and biological women.
It's fine because they'll clip you and make you look stupid.
I think
even though you're
Exactly.
19 years old.
Grid one motorsport.
She gets it.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I was waiting for that moment there because I feel like when you said like, you know, they're gonna after this just go like, oh, like these guys, like blah blah blah. You know, you were 100% right. Like 100%. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Someone snoring?
Maybe.
I don't often listen to the stream with like these on unless I'm
I'll turn
editing.
it down. My gain is probably too high.
No, it's fine. I think your normal level. No, when I edit, I'm listening
Can you
at
hear
2
it now?
times speed.
Can you hear it now?
No. I
Okay. My gain is always too high because I can't even hear myself.
Yeah, no, that's the downside with these things. There's no monitor audio. But yeah, I moved us ahead here. So Chase is we're gonna get her hypocrisy, and we're almost done with this. Chase has full table about strength, so there's a Chase.
Hold on. Out of curiosity, how many women at this table find strength to be an attractive quality in a man?
You done physical strength, right?
Yes, physical strength. You find that to be an attractive quality in a man? Okay, just checking.
Well, but what kind of strength is that? Is that shoulder strength, or is it knee strength, or is it shot put strength versus defensive strength? What kind of strength do you find attractive in a man?
The strength to defend me if the situation arises. Also, I like if a man's strong enough to carry me whenever I'm tipsy or something like that.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Let me ask you. Do you? So you guys all raised your
Brian's
hands saying
done.
that you find strength attractive in a man. Don't you think that's a bit oppressive towards weak men to have that preference?
Ooh.
Is that the patriarchy that's giving you those preferences? Like,
No. It's a
so
preference.
you guys have a preference, right?
Yeah.
Oppression. Just like everyone has a preference.
I have a preference, but I don't like go around talking to everybody about how I hate the other people that I'm not attracted to. I'm like, oh well, they're ugly. I'm not going to say someone's ugly.
You guys do exactly that.
Yeah.
Do exactly what?
I'm
Say
never
that
going to
people
be
are
like,
ugly?
oh,
Yeah.
because I don't find
I
you
don't-
attractive. You must be so ugly that no one will ever like you.
I don't do
That's
that.
how people talk to me.
I've seen clips
Sorry,
of you
that sucks.
you do a lot of podcasts, so you might not remember. I've seen clips of you saying that
Saying what?
women are mainly you. I think.
Oh, it's mainly me, okay.
Yeah, saying that certain women are ugly. You're like.
I've never.
You're just not. You're
That's
not a 10.
literally fake.
You're not a 10.
He does say women aren't
I
10s
do say
because
women are
a lot
not
of
10s,
women
but
say
that doesn't
that
mean
they're 10s when
women.
they're not.
That doesn't.
But it's like
If-
insinuating that.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should move on past this. I think we should start getting to some of these notes. We've talked about the physical strength stuff for like an hour.
And we will do that. I'm moving us ahead because that's where they pretty much end that at. So that was the leftists portion there, and here's just one more nail in the coffin for Farter Girl, as I call her. No disrespect, it's just I can't remember her name, and she farted on the show, so she's Farter. There we go.
Azure. You appear. I'm getting into my notes finally here, and I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible. You appear to have a crush on Hassan Abi. Is that correct?
Yes, and shout out if he ever watches this. I'm sorry
Sorry for what?
for being on here. He hates it here.
Why?
Okay.
He's a socialist, and he knows the formula of the podcast.
What's?
Does
I'm
she
not gonna
make
go
more
into-
sense now?
Yeah, you understand.
It's possible that because he's such a low-tier, lowbrow debater and has absolutely
He's not a
zeros-
debater, and he's been very clear that
Yeah,
he
I know.
doesn't. He's
Well,
not
he
a
shouldn't
debate
be
lord.
because he's literally a moron. So it doesn't surprise me he can't
I
debate.
completely disagree, but
Well, I mean, you can
and
bring
he
him in to
doesn't-
have a
he-
debate then.
He doesn't say that he's the smartest person. He's an internet personality who
Who
So
got,
you-
who was connected to St.
a political commentator.
and he got his job because he had contacts.
Do you watch
for
political commentate?
Yes,
commentate?
I'm a political commentator.
Okay,
Yes.
well, and people watch you.
Yes.
And there's people who think you're an idiot. So
Yes, but you know the difference is that I debate with those people and beat them, and you know what he does? He loses.
Sounds like he doesn't debate them at all.
He doesn't
because he's scared.
He doesn't debate. He was going to debate that one dude with the blue hair, but that guy is
Destiny would absolutely
is,
annihilate
Destiny's
Hassan Abi. It wouldn't even be close because he's annihilated him
because
before.
he's good at probing questions. That's the only way. And
What's a probing question? What does that mean?
when you're asking questions that really have no point.
What?
When you're asking questions that really just, it's a question that stands. There's no answer. There's no
Do you mean
middle
a
ground.
rhetorical question?
Okay. Here, I don't want to linger too long on this. You shot your shot.
But yes, I love shout out Hassan.
Modest Hikima donation.
Yep, I had to put that in there because Hasanabi is a socialist Twitch streamer. I think he's doing YouTube now. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong.
I've never heard of him.
I know he is a very huge channel, Hasanabi. I think he was doing stuff with Ethan Klein. I think they had a podcast together for a little while. And now Ethan Klein's own audience is against him. They're mad at him right now because he found out that the left doesn't support Israel.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, and he's Jewish, and his wife is Israeli, legit Israeli, served time in the Israeli army, like the military, and yeah, and he found out pretty quick the left side of that fence there. Just pulled that I don't know her move for really quick. I don't know.
No, I really don't know her. I really don't know
it's a
her.
guy.
I don't really go on Twitch. I know it's a guy.
Oh no! Well, he's on like I've seen stuff of his on YouTube. He's big on the platforms because he's like overtly socialist, like, but almost to like a trolling level. Like someone who's it's like you're losing the plot between
Hassan Piker. I've heard of. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Hasanabi.
Okay.
I believe, right? I could be
What's
wrong.
the
people, let me
Abi?
know.
Is that his middle name?
Hasanabi is just one word. I think that's like the name of his channel.
Oh, okay.
Unless Hassan Piker is he the Young Turks guy, or is that someone else now? All I know is that name sounds uber familiar.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the numbers here. Because we pretty much got everything done here. There's just a few more moments here. 54. Okay. Here we go. So, this is just another sign of who this girl is. Just more nails in the coffin. And then there will be a payoff at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Shred noir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get totally pitted.
Do y'all think it's like a little
Into the mic.
zesty? Do y'all think it's a little zesty to like wash your ass in the shower?
Oh, this was the other girl.
It's like, yeah, basically.
No, that's
But
is it what? It's
Homosexual.
is it
Gay.
fellas? Is it gay to keep yourself clean when you're showering?
No, that's just hygiene.
Okay,
You don't wash your ass.
I've literally heard so many guys that are like,
What
I don't
the
wash my
hell?
ass in the shower. That's just.
You're turned
Yeah.
off by men who wash their ass?
No, I'm
Men
turned
who-
on by that. Well, no, I mean, not like this.
No, I don't think it's quote unquote zesty for to be hygienic.
I think
Okay, good.
I'll double down on this. Baby wipes, not just TP. You got to use baby wipes too if you're wiping.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
do you like
Amen.
shave it too?
Bro, I think it's.
Beer from Florida.
Hey, Jim. Hasanabi is Chunk Yogurt's nephew. Oh, that makes sense.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I always remember Hassan Piker because of what's the guy's name?
Yes, I agree with Justin here. There's no left and right. It's globalist collectivist versus nationalist individualism.
Yeah, thank you, Justin Trudeau. Trudeau. That's very true. But yeah, I always remember Hassan Piker for there was a guy who was doing the boxing and he got canceled on YouTube's a while back, and then he was doing that that thing where they were live streaming the house 24/7, and even like I think Alex Stein went by there, right? And there's that like viral video of him like, Hassan Piker, I'm coming. Sam Hyde, heck yeah. I love the chat. Sam Hyde, I always remember that clip. All right, so I forgot that wasn't Farty Girl in my notes. I just had it down as this was a silly moment. And I thought it was Farty Girl, and it wasn't. All right, so we're almost to the end here. 4:52:04. Here we go.
Yeah, Brian, you got my Instagram, so.
Ooh.
Oh.
I thought we hated men. Come on.
Nick, can you pull up?
We love and we
there
love
is-
and we hate.
There is
It's
an
the world.
underlying vibe that whole time while you guys were arguing back and forth, and now it's finally revealed itself.
Chase is trying to set something
It's
up.
the enemies to lovers arc, you guys.
Okay. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10, starting with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
9.3.
Wow.
9.3. Okay.
I don't really want to answer.
Why?
Why is that?
Don't have a
You don't
high
wanna
self-image.
I mean, I like to think that I'm pretty, but then there's like pictures of me that I'm like
How do you feel right now?
like a 8 or 9, depending on the angle that I catch myself at.
Okay.
I like this angle right here.
Okay.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank you.
I would say like an 8, 9, like not a full 10 because
Oh.
everyone has the different types. I'm
See,
like,
if I was
probably
sitting there
like
with
an
these
8.5.
girls, I would go even lower. I'd be like,
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe a 6. Because if they're 8 and 9, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
This question
what
is
do
a
you-
trap.
yeah, because what do you really put into that rating, though? Is it just looks? Is it personality? Is
It's
it
just looks.
lifestyle?
That's what they're asking.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see that there. Honestly, the first girl, if it wasn't for the piercings, she would be a highly rated girl, in my opinion. It's just that throws me off there.
And we can't really tell. Like, I would like to see them done up in a cocktail dress, like not in like whatever sweats, like not these garbage outfits that they're in.
But this is their party outfits, Chrissy.
Right.
This is what
They're
they
too
wear to the
casual.
party. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of my favorite girl with the white stripes in the front of the hair, like that outfit per se. But I dig her. I dig tattoos. I do. Just it's a little high, but yeah, I'm silly.
Let's keep playing it.
Yes. Well, there's not really much else here, but yeah, we'll hear it.
Damn. I guess we all going with the same answers. Like an 8 on a good day.
Yeah, I would say like an 8 or 8.5.
I'd say like a 7.5.
Yeah, say like 7.
Oh, ask everyone. I guess.
What's your rating, Brian? 5?
I
Rachel thinks he's a 10. Rachel knows he's a 10.
That's true. Rachel, my wife thinks
Aw.
she's supposed to think that. Though. Yeah.
I'd give myself
I'd give him a
7.5,
4.
8 on a good day.
Give myself a 6.
Oh, no.
6.5 on a good day.
Wait, you're 6.5?
6.
Then I'm 7.
Wow. Okay. Well played.
That's right.
He's a funny guy.
All right. What else do we got?
We have. Let's see. Hold on.
All right, we can skip
Again,
ahead.
same thing. Like, I would need to see the body. The guys would need to stand up, like take your shirt off. Then we can give you a number.
You take the shirt off, really? So you're gonna objectify men?
Well, they're all basically with their shirts off. Like, you can see more of their shape with what they're wearing versus what the guys are wearing. Like Chase, is in good shape because you can just like he's wearing a fitted shirt, but like you can't really tell with the other two.
Okay, can you tell with me right now?
No, it's dark and not fitted.
It's kind of fitted. Yeah, I'm just gonna suck it in and make muscles. Oh. No, I did look good with the cowboy hat though. If you don't see the top part of my head, like it's a nice jaw.
Cowboy hats are a vibe.
Maybe I should make it a thing. Get rid of the bandanas. All right, so we're moved ahead here. We're almost to the end here. Like it's gonna start getting spicy here in a second. Though.
Into the mic, please.
Yeah, sorry. Do you mean in terms of
Just like-
can like a trans woman be a woman?
No,
or
just like what is a woman?
I don't know. I think it's just the sense of being feminine. Like motherhood, like carrying empathetic traits. I feel like it's really hard to summarize what a woman is.
I feel like it's
just
really not.
by speaking.
They're talking about biology
Oh,
completely.
biology.
Yeah, we're not talking about like what traits do
That's
women
the-
embody. Like just what is
it's
a
like-
what is a woman?
Yeah.
Not like what does she embody, but like
So it's basically the basis like, is a trans woman a woman essentially?
Yeah, they want to.
That's the context.
It's a probe.
Yes,
probe.
kamikaze.
we're trying to
Yeah.
we're basically trying to clarify.
not-
Do you
it's
view
not a
trans
probe.
women as real?
I remember what your question was. Earlier you said a probing question. The question doesn't go anywhere. This question actually means something.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, but it's not
a
going.
lot.
It's not. You could just be like, are trans women women?
Yeah.
That's
so-
instead of being.
You could
what
say
is a
are
woman?
trans
'Cause
women
it's-
women,
it's
but
an
you could
easy way
also
to
just
make-
ask what is a woman?
Well,
you guys
because
have had very diverse answers.
If you
that don't
define
make
it
sense.
differently than we do, right? We have a semantic difference.
Yeah.
Then it's actually important for us to reconcile the semantic difference, right?
Yeah, just
I
with
would
these
prefer to
debates where
see
we're
a show with all the same guys, but just have the blonde Christina Aguilera looking girl and the one that's next to her. Like, I would just want to see them do a show together. I think it would be way more productive. They'd cover a lot more ground.
Wait, which
I
one's
think.
the Christina Aguilera?
The one with the blonde and too much highlighter.
Oh, okay.
The two girls on the left, I think, would make a really interesting show. I think Tattoo Girl's not offering much, and then these four here are just they're being so they're being too difficult to have a productive conversation. They're not opening themselves up to learn anything, and they're not well versed enough to debate their points to be right about anything.
I'm
So
just gonna
it'll
stick up for
fail.
my girl though, Tattoo Girl, really quick. There was portions of her I've just skipped it, because it really had nothing to do with the line of the two commies.
Mhm.
So, because she's military, honorably discharged, and she's also a
You can
stripper.
still like her, Fealty. I'm just saying she's not adding to the show.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just pointing out that there's missed portion there for anyone watching this. Go to the whatever. There's interesting stuff there for my girl. Just saying. Also,
Jim Salas, starting with Zombie Girl and moving left. It's 657 6577. Prussian War Helmet Girl is an 8 because she hasn't opened her mouth. Oh, so old school, Jim. Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I mean, a Tattoo Girl, I would probably say is a 7. I think solid 7. If she didn't have a tattoo, I mean, which you can get rid of, right? Like, should be higher. Just saying. But yeah,
Okay.
other than that, yeah. There was a 657. Anna, that Star Wars girl, is a 6. We should let Anna know that she's being rated a 6 here, because that girl looks just like Anna, that Star Wars girl. Just saying.
Eh.
And you rate her 6. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
let's move on.
All right, here we go.
In front of a spectacle where we don't have rapport, so there's no middle ground. So it's like, what if when I want to say something?
That
like,
doesn't mean one of us can't be wrong and one of us can't be right, or both.
Yeah.
Beer, 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 beer.
Viking, Chrissy and Fealty are both 10s. Thank you, Viking. You the best.
You made my day. I'm gonna go cry now.
Us be wrong, or both of us be right. So
I just
we
don't-
Why do you need rapport to have a logical debate with somebody?
That's like expert debate, like people
Expert
who
debaters don't have
champion debate.
rapport.
People
It's
who win
logic.
champion debates
What-
don't like they
What rapport do you need to have a logical debate with somebody?
it just the way to have a actual debate that goes somewhere that
No.
progresses.
No. In fact, two people who've never
Because
met each other ever.
this conversation is not going to progress. This is like we've just
'Cause they're already
had
shut down
different viewpoints.
emotionally.
There's been no
Why wouldn't it progress? If there's a
progression.
logical distinction here that I can demonstrate
They're
to
all
you,
shut
that a
down.
woman cannot be a woman because you say it's a woman because it's a woman, because that would be regressive.
And that's
then-
your opinion.
Then no, that's not my opinion.
I would actually, I think that'd be super valuable content. Make that argument, Andrew, please.
Okay, all definitions have to point at something.
Chase is like
All of
egging
them
it
have to
on.
point at something. So what is a microphone, right? Whatever I say a microphone is has to point at
Yeah.
what a microphone actually is. So if you say...
You don't have to patronize me. I know.
Yeah, so
I
if
know.
You say,
Let him continue.
Well, I do have to patronize you. So if you say
You
that
do?
a woman is a
That's
woman...
the end of the road. Like I will leave.
Oh no, I
over
don't.
this
Like I don't. It's not my show, lady. I don't give a shit if you leave.
I do want to hear.
What I do want to make a point on that.
I'm not
analogy,
triggered.
though,
I just don't want to
is-
be triggered.
Is if you're looking strictly at a microphone, right? A microphone
Ben
also
the
has
offender donated $200.
Oof,
So
this
glad
is
I
so
never went to
tense.
college to get indoctrinated by these ideals. The things they teach in these keep men and women apart because the establishment knows the nuclear family is a threat to them.
Facts, dude. Well said.
So you're uneducated.
Am I
Absolute
allowed
facts.
to leave?
But I think the one thing, like,
I like-
back-
Maybe
what's with the
dismissed.
attitude?
to the,
I just want to go. I don't like this debate.
Which debate? Do
The what is a woman debate, or I like the because
you want to switch the body count? We can talk about body count. What's your body
because
count?
I can't
Body count?
with
Body
the
count?
racism
Body
on
count?
anything.
Racism, huh?
Or like any of these
Huh?
debates about like the social, like I can't.
The socio... What?
Just the socials, the social
social issues
about
are
because
too
this is a
much.
dating
Yeah.
show, and now we're talking about trans women.
Well, because there is, to some degree...
and it's like I can't speak
Huh?
for speak for trans women, and I'm not about to. And I have a lot of people in my life that I
Well,
care
a
about
lot
that
of
are
people have a
trans.
lot of opinions about a lot of things, but there have...
That's
there
why
has
I don't want to get angry.
Then just
You don't wanna
leave,
get
I don't
girl.
want to get
Get
upset.
gangrene?
Because I want to respect everybody in the room, but I don't want to get
Yeah, but
upset.
isn't it your responsibility if you're gonna?
And I would rather just leave
Yeah.
if that's the case.
So, I mean...
So
Then
I will.
leave,
I mean, I'm
then
not.
don't
I'm
ask
certainly
for
not going to keep you here,
permission.
but I will say,
What's
if you
gonna
feel this
happen?
strongly about your love for your friends that identify as
I
trans,
don't
this is
know.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
This is a fantastic opportunity for you to make a case for why they are women in your eyes.
Yeah, I don't want to.
We can talk about body count. Let's talk about body count. What's yours? And does it matter? Does body count matter? I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm very curious
We
about
could
this
go on
topic. Let's talk about body count.
Okay, let's do it. I would say probably. What's the first rule of Fight Club?
That you always talk about everything that happens in Fight Club.
Ah.
I know the quote, but I think up like 15.
think up like 15.
Yeah, up to 15.
Up to 15.
And I lost my virginity when I was 14, so
Okay.
Okay.
that's my scale.
Sure.
So
Okay.
that's
What
my
is she in
scale.
her 20s now?
Which one of you tweeted about having
Yeah, I
something
think
about
so, yeah.
time to be a host? Oh, wait, what was it? One of
Okay, we can skip ahead, and here we go. So at this point, they're talking about Schmushmortians, and just let it play out. I skipped past the Schmushmorshman debate, so
Okay.
we'll just get to the crux of it.
As
Well, if it's murder,
tool
if it's
for
murder,
morality.
if it's murder, then they should be getting
Okay,
arrested.
slavery was also legal.
No. Listen.
Doesn't make
What
it
is
right.
a murder? A murder is an unjustified killing. That's what a murder is, right? So in this particular
I'm
case,
gonna leave. I can't
Yeah.
with this. I'm gonna.
Well, I think
All
I
right.
think if someone was actually branching off
gonna-
into the
timeout.
medical
Yep.
field, and
Out you
actually-
go. You can bring your friend too. Just we don't need to
You
make
don't need to
Like,
say.
I
You don't
can't-
need to say anything else.
Just leave. Just leave.
Thank you guys for
Oh my
having
God,
me
that was
on
so
the pod. I appreciate it and all the differing stuff. I can't
Just-
with this.
That's fine.
Just
See
you.
ya.
That's fine. Just
We have
leave.
a long drive.
It's
and-
Nick,
fine,
get on
it's
the
fine, just
get on the
go,
fucking
just
thing,
go,
Nick.
Just go.
Bye.
No, dude, you got to.
Okay, bye.
Not. That's not what I'm talking about, Nick.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
What are you talking about?
Poor
Bro,
Nick.
you need,
Face
if we're doing a
tanning?
kickoff, you need to be on the keyboard. Okay, you gotta be on the keyboard.
A kickoff.
Do you know why? Okay.
Anyways,
Oh, in case someone like runs over and tries to fuck
I know,
with the
but you.
stream.
Never mind. We'll talk about it after the show.
Anyways,
that
did you
chick
guys want?
refused to talk about any issue.
I mean, I think
She was super bad.
what it
And there you go. That's pretty much everything for this night here.
That was a handful.
Yeah, that's. I feel bad for Nick there though. Brian did try and do something fine. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm just gonna show you. That's what Brian did after that. But yeah, I feel bad for Nick there because it's like, Nick, you gotta be on the keyboard, but you hear Nick in the
you're
background. But yeah, but Nick in the background is like, I thought you wanted me to video it. You hear him say. So, like, I'm thinking in my head as someone who thinks content-wise, like, yeah, wouldn't you want the video of them leaving? What does
Right.
he need to do on the keyboard? Like, unless maybe they have a camera set up automatically that he could go to, like, from the keyboard, you know? But why is he not at the keyboard? What does Brian have him doing that he's not at the keyboard anyway?
It's hard to tell because we never see this guy.
Yeah. So it's just like I was so confused at that, but we did get a walk off. I was trying not to give it away that all of that was leading up to the walk off there. It was like I hope the moments I'm picking don't give away what's about to happen, but yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I would say intelligence wise, this is about the size of the typical women they have on, but they were way more combative, and they had this sort of unconscious understanding to be combative as a group, and really very little progress was able to be made, which just made this whole show feel very stifled.
Yeah, I do find it interesting though that the Southern girl, she made it to the end of the show, like, and she was saying wild things about like communism at the start of the show and everything, but it ended up that, you know, Farty is the one who like decided to leave, and then Zombie Girl, you know, was friends with her. They're both like I think dancers that work in the same industry, and they know each other, and then they
Okay.
both leave. I hope tonight's episode wasn't a bummer, y'all.
Let us know
Yes.
in the comments.
Yeah. I go into the comments every week just saying I'm in there chatting with y'all. It might look like Chrissy's commenting because for some reason in the comments it'll say Chrissy replied to a comment, then you click it and it's like nope, just
You
me.
mean on YouTube?
Yeah, like legit if you go to
That's weird.
yeah, I could show you really
Oh, maybe
quick.
because you have access to my YouTube.
I think so. Like let's see.
All right, cool.
shows.
Fealty, what is coming up for you this week? Where can people find you?
I mean, nothing's really coming. I stop by KeanuCast every now and then I go to the wet spot on Compound Media to hang out and have a good time. But other than that, yeah, just my Twitter, Ghostly Fealty. And if you find any moments, I know I do have still Kratos. I have it written down still, that episode of the Whatever podcast, the 2-hour mark, where Chris storms off the original guy. So I'm going to table that for next week, and I'm going to do more research on who that Chris guy is, and maybe there's more to find out. Maybe Chris made a video. So I'll have something a little bit more put together for that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Next week is Thanksgiving, so I imagine we would try to do this next Wednesday as opposed to Thursday,
shoot.
if possible. And if it's like too much or whatever, just let me know. We can totally skip a week.
Yeah, it might be too much for me. Just
Yeah.
with
Okay.
the
Yeah.
holiday.
No worries. No worries. For me, of course, Friday Night Tights, 4 p.m. Eastern on Nerdrotics YouTube channel. Sunday is Simpcast. Not So Erudite and Kim Coulter will be guests. I gotta book a few more gals for that. This upcoming Monday, I will be guest hosting the Kumia show and then hosting my show Wet Spot at 7 p.m. Eastern with Whatever Amy, Joe Curry, and Brianna Diamond. And then next Tuesday, I'll be interviewing Steve Inman here on my channel at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I got a couple more things in the works. So yeah,
I
thank you
can't
guys
wait
so
for
much
Steve
for
Inman.
thank you for watching and listening. And of course, if you're in Tampa, I'll be headlining the Side Splitters Comedy Club December 3rd, and I'll be headlining the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego January 5th and 6th. So for tickets, go to ChrissieMayer.com. Thank you guys for joining us on Whatever Wednesday, and we will see you next time.